All right. Let's see. We're gonna. Nope, it's muted. Perfect. Let's see. Oh, I want to pop this chat out, so I have it out over here. Hold on. Boop. Bam. Yeah. Just right, yeah. Got that rolling. I guess we put this in the Discord right quick. A lot of people aren't streaming. I don't really know if I want Nightmare, but we got to send Vexed. Oh, we won't need to send here if we have post kill. I do want Aurora. Foot maybe. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's put Denze on there just cuz. We're probably a couple minutes out here still from... We're still probably a couple minutes out here from game starting up. I think I want to see some Element 6 too, I think. So what does that give us? That gives us 7. Let's get one more. Or do we want... Man, I just... We have Ascend here. Yeah, I think we'll roll with that for now. Can I get rid of this? Yeah! Alright. There we go. Does this still work if I want to go full screen? Fuck yeah, it does. Let's get it. All right. Do these reload or do I have to reload them? And if I go to manage streams, oh, if I go to manage streams, I can still hear that in the back. Let's fucking go. All right. Yeah, we'll see if anyone else happens to pop live. Just trying to think of who else. I would like to get to 8, I think, at least. So I guess maybe J-Lings. I just feel so bad for having so many, like, of the actual, like, command center. F it, I guess. All right. Got that going, got that going. I'm gonna wait and see. I'm gonna try and see if we can do, I might take like a little break in between NA and EMEA, depending on how the broadcasts go. It seemed like yesterday there's enough time for me to take like a little hour, give me a little, you know, break away from the lights, give me a little snickish snack. Yeah, I guess for now we'll just kind of chill here until we figure out if there's anyone else we can watch. Or that we want to watch, you know. I guess let me just make sure all of these are set to high quality. Oh, looks like it automatically reloads over here. Heck yeah. You'll love to see it. Love to see it. Oh, man. Open this up since we're getting close. If I could type today, that'd be kind of cool. Pop there. Buy them. I think we get Dia and Zep for today, chat. Get excited, man. I'm pumped for both those dudes, man. And there's the man, Rain Day.
Our final day of the opening weekend of Split 2 in our ALGS. And I am so excited to be bringing you the action in a very special Sunday treat, featuring a debut from some casters you know and you love.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
To continue calling the action as a host, Rain Day here, and so much has developed over the last day that I cannot wait to see where this meta goes.
Where's the
and how the players
echo coming from?
And tribulations bounce back today or continue.
Okay, it is on the stream.
As they start their journey to the Split 2 playoffs. But so much to do to get there. Day 2 is underway as we kick it off with EMEA. And of course, I am here, like I teased a little earlier, with two you may know and love. Let's introduce the first one, though. Dia, welcome to the broadcast, my friend. It is so great to have you here, and what a great day of Apex we have in store.
Thank you so much, Rain Day. I am really excited to be here, over the moon, as we cover the beginnings of Split 2. And as you talk about these
the echo
figure their way
on the producer side.
Greatness.
Because it even sounds like it's on his end. Yo, what up, B-dubs? How you doing, homie?
Solve a totally new game this split.
Well, Dia, you're so great at storytelling and driving those narratives. I know someone who, alongside with you, has helped to build that.
Bro, we got to do something about the echo.
To get here as well, following the Challenger circuit.
Also, Rain Day's green screen's off a little bit.
Zephyr Cast. Zephyr, tell me a little bit about how you're feeling today. Excited to have you, my friend, on the big show.
It is more than a pleasure to say howdy howdy to you all, whether you're a friend new or old. I can't describe what it means to be a part of this broadcast, but I'll tell you what, I'm even more excited to see what we have in store today. Obviously, the first
these two guys are really good, man. I'm excited for them.
Against yesterday's Group A will bring in store a whole
but it's weird because it's
of excitement.
I guess there is a little bit on.
That's a great segue for me too. You guys are already making my job easy. Yesterday we had a finale that was phenomenal.
It sounds like it's mostly on Rain Day's mic, though.
From EMEA and North America, we saw things transcend.
I'm wondering if it's picking it up through a headset on somebody.
Back to that story where it really was all about Fire Beavers. They dominated 3 out of 6 games. And Dia, looking at yesterday, we saw the meta continue to develop.
B-dubs, how's your weekend going, friend?
Where we wonder, before getting into this, will Catalyst be a big part of it? Is it something people are trying in scrims, and will they commit to it? For most of the lobby, yes, it was there. But for Fire Beavers, they didn't need it at all, and they had no problems dominating day 1.
I think that
Fire Beavers just rocked the old
Fire Beavers yesterday is if you're a
Sear
TSM
Bang.
fan, you think you're lucky stars that this team didn't show up.
Sear Bang
Beavers are so,
Valkyrie.
So scary, and they're clearly back with a vengeance in Split 2. I don't see them slowing down anytime soon, but now that they're out of the lobby, now that they won't be playing,
because like you can hear a little bit
It opens a lot
on
up,
Diaz.
Right? Another team, Zephyr, that had a huge performance that will not be in this lobby.
Mostly procrastinating. I feel that.
And they introduced a different type of meta against the Catalyst and the Valkyrie and the Seer combination. They went for the Rampart to try to counter that, and it worked really, really well to not necessarily stop Fire Beavers, but at least to be a very successful team, claiming, I believe, 3rd place overall in the day.
Now, we know Alliance is more than capable of standing amongst the rest here in EMEA, and I'll be honest, with the recent changes that we've seen in rivalry to those control-based legends, it makes sense that Rampart will get her chance to shine eventually.
Rampart was always in the EMEA though, right?
Team to bring it out here.
I don't think we see it
they played through it
outside of the EMEA though.
6 matches yesterday, and it was here, of course, in this win towards North Pat that they actually managed to transition it to a lead among the rest.
It was beautiful to see. I just loved how, you know, there was an experiment unfolding. We were watching it live throughout scrims and wondering what's it going to be on game day. It ended up being this. They ended up proving you can win with this. Rampart, Seer, Valkyrie.
So B-Dubs, what you got? Like 2 months left, 2.5 months left. Then with summer break, right?
Of these opening weekend days, and we're going to see more today. Don't you worry. In the chat as well, we're excited. Let us know your picks, your prioritizations, or your thoughts on what you might see heading into today's matches. But looking at
post kills,
I mean,
still not.
No wonder Fire Beavers had
live.
Such a great performance. All 3 members.
Even though it says he's live, I'm so confused.
But I posed to you another terrifying statistic that of our top 5 kill leaders from yesterday,
maybe we'll just have to get a send from
is going to be playing today. At the very top of the list, we've still
like the live
got unlucky from Vexed.
Yeah.
And if any squad is going to be able to pop off today, is going to be able to carry that Fire Beavers mantle, I pose to you that it may very
it shows he's not live now.
Great question to ask. I mean, looking at what OJ Rain do,
I do think I would rather actually sit in with somebody on Foot Esports though. Versus on there. No, man, I still want to listen to the play Apex, man. Come on.
As good as the top medal here
June
in
6th.
EMEA. We've already seen them begin to form their gap amongst the PAP. The question is, can those do the same?
Shout outs, of course, to Fire Beavers Alliance. They played really well yesterday, even Phoenix Legacy.
We'll watch Graceful instead of Element 6 up here. All right, we're just going to have to deal without the... Actually, no, I'm not. We're going to go back over here and turn this on.
This is a great lobby, but who you got your eye on standing out from this group we got?
I mean, I'd be a fool not to be looking at Ascend, so I'm going to be keeping my eyes on them, but right above them as well. 2R1C are a big point of curiosity for me, with Ichako and Hiarka finally getting back together alongside Jerovic. I mean, this team should, on paper, be a dominant one, but Ichako and Hiarka...
Loving to see that that Zephyr and Dia are already getting good comments in chat, man. Love those guys.
Gives 2R1C some much-needed success in Split 2.
Zephyr, who's caught your eye here?
Oh, it's tough to say, but obviously some of the best coming from playoffs will always draw
Zephyr
my attention
just like
the likes of E6
has that mic energy, man. Guys chatting right now.
I come from Challenger Circuit, okay, Rain Day. I'm always more than excited to extend a hand towards teams like SPS and Kella, who were fantastic.
Well, it's all good and dandy to have your names up on a graphic, but when it comes down to being in the lobby, that changes things, even our expectations. So who will show up? I think the story of yesterday has been, we don't know. It might be a surprise. But guess what? The teams that did do it, they have a little bit of a
for anybody who might not be
towards
too
making
familiar and is
playoffs.
keeping
Whenever
track
you
on
win at the
scoring
end
when
of
we
the
get to
day,
the
after
end of the
6
day,
games, first place will receive
there's going to be some teams who have played
25
2
points. Second, 21,
sessions, whereas some
18,
others will have only played
forth
1
down
because of the way that
bottom
the
10
schedule
will each
works.
receive a placement from 11. They'll receive 9 points all the way down to 20th. Which
So anybody that's going to be in Group A,
points,
you're probably going to see a lot of Group A teams towards the top of the
playoffs. All these points are tallied up after not only the 9
leaderboard
games
after
prior,
today.
but the 10th regional.
That's
final
normal
day
because they've
to
played
see
2
which
sessions.
are our top 10, top 11, or maybe 9 or 5 teams, depending on the region that you're in, that will be joining us in the Split 2 playoffs. So starting off strong is super important. All right, let's take it to the big part of the day, I think, fellas. We get to kind of hone in on some teams that have caught our eye specifically in the pre-broadcast. So I'm going to start it with you, Dia. Who do you have your eyes on in today's matches?
Ooh, you know, it was a tough question to consider, but I've got to highlight J-Lings at the very start of today. This is going to be their first debut as a full, complete roster and their first time in Split 2. J-Lings is a part of two very successful squads, rather is made up of
Yeah, I mean, also too, I mean, you could always not only get into
We've got
gaming
Nags
casting,
from the
but there
original
are
J-Lings roster that qualified up into the
like there's
Pro League
FIFA,
with
which is
VCD.
probably more gonna have to
Then
be
we've
out
got
of region,
Noises
obviously,
and
but
JMW paired alongside that. So we've got this combination of
NBA 2K, Madden,
J-Lings, and Invictus Gaming, both of whom made playoffs, both of whom played with the best teams in the world.
And it's a skill set that, like,
players have come together individually and decided
it's like anything. You got to put in 10,000 hours, right? So I think that's why for me, like, especially when I was able to do sports earlier this year, and, you know, get some stuff on some smaller broadcasts for some games and things, like, why not?
Zephyr, what is your pick, though?
I'll tell you what, Dia, you can't bring me to an EMEA broadcast without letting me talk about Aurora.
True, though.
This is a team that has been around the bend for a long time. From pushers to Empire to the namesake themselves, they have been at the tippity top of the EMEA region for the last two splits in a row here. Obviously, they missed out a little bit on playoffs, but we might be getting a repeat out of what we saw from Fire.
We gotta get
Beavers.
Zephyr's
The
breathing under
passion,
control,
the
though.
Fire, things have
Get him breathing through his nose more.
And hopefully not just today in Group C, but also for
I don't have that
they'll
option because
be
my nose
able
is
to
broken.
extend
Maybe he has the
on
same
that. Of course,
thing, but
they're explorative.
you can hear him a
they're
lot.
aggressive. Teams are scared of them, and they're not afraid to take a risk. But I'll tell you what, I want to hear from the vet, Rain Day. Let me know who you're looking at.
Well, I can't disagree with J-Lings and Aurora being great teams to follow, but today my eyes are on Element 6. That's right. They have brought together the domination in Europe that maybe we didn't expect to transcend the entire lobby in playoffs, but they represented the region well, placing 9th in Split 1 in London just a month ago. Can they carry on that momentum with the addition of Graceful, joining them from IG, usually an IGL, but giving K Swinney the leadership role specifically? For those watching, you're going to be seeing a little bit of Wraith. The reason is Graceful joining us yesterday is that K Swinney needs to be an IGL in the thick of things, not telling people how to do something.
Into the thick of it.
Himself. As you can see here, no worries, no cares to get in your face and show you a little bit of that buy one blade if you get too close. Excited to see all of those teams compete. And if you have another storyline that you're following, guess what? That's the beauty of the award-winning multi-view back for Split 2 of the ALGS. It means you can go into the command center.
Yeah,
down
but like
below
when
on the
I
page
mean
that
more
you're
so like
watching
while
right
I'm
now and choose
mid thought,
which perspective, which rotation, which
or if it like it's a hype
and
moment.
which storylines you feel
I know
are
him.
most
He's probably got
important, so
like,
can
you know,
watch the
obviously
ALGS
adrenaline running.
your way. Multi-view, check it out.
But like when I'm
Customize your
doing
experience watching the games today.
you know, like say a
Always fun, always
gunfight
excited
or
to give a preview there. I love the teams, J-Lings,
things
Aurora,
like that.
Element 6. Who else?
like I don't
We
really
will find
necessarily
out
get the chance to
soon.
do
And
like a
guess what?
quick
This
good
is where
breath.
we will
I
start
need to
today.
get better
World's
about just
Edge
breathing through my
is
nose
where we'll
anyways.
begin 3 games, and then we'll switch over to Storm Point. The first half of the split will always start on World's Edge, which means teams a little bit more comfortable here, the older map and competitive history, and then maybe things will get a little bit wackier at the end. And wacky, not usually a word I use, but when it comes to the likes of Aurora, a team that is known produce Fuse, Maggie, Catalyst.
All right,
People
let's
were
see if there's
playing
anyone
it.
else that's
We
live that
know
we don't
this new meta, what they are going to
have
bring
selected
to the
for a
table.
team that maybe
I am
we
so
want to
excited,
watch.
and I know these teams and players have been waiting for a long time. Group C had to wait and watch A and B battle it out. It is time for Group C to get into the action. It's time for A, if you didn't perform, to perform today, because 2 duds
I think
in a
we'll
row
sit on
is
with
not
Gaiman Gladiators as well. That gives us 8.
to call.
I like the
In
8
fact,
screens. It
let's
just,
throw it
you
to
know.
them. Their debut, so happy to have them on broadcast. It's Dia and Zephyr. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Rain Day. And as we prepare to get into game 1, I cannot help but feel the excitement for teams like Aurora and Element 6 that you've highlighted, J-Lings that I brought into the conversation as well going into today. These are teams that take no prisoners, and especially, I know I've talked to you, Zephyr, about my fears surrounding E6. They very much scare me. When they're on, they're really on.
I'll tell you what, I'm interested to see how these new teams make
All right,
their
let's
way
see
into
how
our first
game
match. Because
or
like
match
I
1
brought
starts
up at
off.
the
Here's
very
going to
beginning
be,
here,
again,
we look
Group
at our
C's first whack at it.
Alliance, Vexed, Ascend here, Fire Beavers. These are quality teams that have already performed well on our first day of the split. And now we need to see if Aurora, E6, J-Links, can they keep up with the same level of tempo in the EMEA region? You can never let it slip because the top is so well defined.
And that's a big question for us going into the split as well, is with the top teams in EMEA separating themselves so frequently. They're regulars in our top 10, top 12 that keep making it back there. Can any middle of the pack team historically step up and take that away? Can we get some of our challenger circuit teams coming in and saying, you know what, history be darned, I'm going to take this title? In the very start of the season, I think that's where you have some of the biggest edges as a challenger circuit, as a recently qualified team, or as a reformed team, to put your name in the history books over here in EMEA. So let's drop in for game number 1. We've already got everybody more or less landing, although we do have some contests over by Climatizer, so 2R1C perhaps hoping to make a name for themselves.
Could be a return from them. We know for a fact that yesterday, when things just got off right on the start here, 2R1C wasn't in the best of positions, finding themselves facing early defeats in many ways. I know you're watching out for them, and I am too. This is a team that played together in the past, of course, not between Arca and Uchako, but also Jerovic coming through in our last championship as this third to play as a fill. So if there's anyone that can potentially find a rhythm, it would be these guys.
It's funny to see the way that they're just playing around the early stages as well. Grabbing the charge rifle instead of the PK, trying to play this at a bit of a long range. I imagine 2R1C may not want to take this fight initially. Instead, getting a little bit of poke in or even disengaging as they've got rotations up to the north.
Hey, I mean, you are more than welcome to hang out here. I am not going to shame you.
Another squad that's
if
come
you
up from the challenger circuit, from the
do need to get back to the planning, you know, obviously I understand that. I appreciate you coming through, hanging out a bit.
Kella are not to be trifled with.
No, absolutely
as
not.
we get ready for 12 games, man. 6 here in EMEA, 6 in NA.
As a three-piece coming in with their kind of self-acquainted points and then launch through the rest of the standings.
See if we got any contests on our screens. It doesn't look like so.
Preseason qualifiers just as well. Now,
everyone's just pretty well
coming off a Climatizer. They do have a little bit of the ego read. They've got triple blues and compared to what was 2R1C's whites, but it seems like the rotations are already underway.
Everybody moving their way up to a pretty darn northern zone. Bitfix Gaming actually dead in the center of the train tracks right now, and with a lot of say over how this game will go. We still have to sort out what the power positions are going to be, but for squads like Ascend and Bitfix, who have already cemented themselves in the ring, they'll have a lot of say over what power positions other squads get.
Yeah,
a quick look around while we got the
when we do have a zone pull up and into
thing
this
up in the background.
Obviously,
Aurora's rocking the all blues right now.
Especially survey camp, that becomes such a pit of
Nightmare
esports.
You
get upwards of 6 to 7 squads.
Gonna have a little bit of a rotate, but 2 purples and a blue.
And more extended pull towards those northern sides.
I'm keeping my eyes on the south end of the map as well, since we've got SPS
Foot esports. I don't think I've changed theirs, have I? No, this is still on auto.
And Totem starting to rotate in as well.
Let me fix these last couple that are on auto, actually.
Those that rotate in early, those that fight around the edge are
there we go. I should get us all of these on source
when they are this close to each other.
Yep.
It is seconds away from turning into a fight when we do start our rotations in for these 2 squads, these 3 squads even, that may be rotating in right next to each other.
Yeah. Obviously, we see high presence towards the northern side here, even further towards this train line, where we're starting to see some of the early predictions of where this zone will work out. For Ascend, they're in a unique situation, one of the few squads not to play concurrent with that meta. You see them there with that Watson and Crypto, which will allow them to set up what we understand is a more defensive.
We're going to be doing our first 3 games here on World's Edge, just like we've been doing. I don't know if they swap that midway to the split. I don't
with
think
2R1C,
so.
That charge rifle pickup that they opted into instead of the Peacekeeper for a contest by Climatizer is actually going to be really important here, giving them a lot more autonomy from the northern side of the map, where you'll normally have a little bit more difficulty
scoreboard's
accessing
about
other
ready.
teams that are fighting their way through.
Actually, I guess I could probably do that.
A little bit further away from you. Now you actually have options to pick up KP and actively participate in the game as 2R1C. Start a fight.
So we didn't have any contests
with
here.
Things like the 301 instead.
I will say I don't prefer their position right now. For start a fight, remember that train line and any rotations that come through there from the west side, they will be the first squad to be pinched, and their escape options either put them directly in the face of 2R1C, or they're forced to make their way back towards survey camp. Now granted, if something occurs here earlier rather than later, there's still a lot of space available in survey camp that they should be able to present themselves, but this position later on can get particularly dicey.
Yeah, you got nothing going on. Looks like Vex has got a little bit going on over where they're at.
Let's go climatizer. We can get beacon and the other one there.
They're just gonna rotate out though. It looks like.
Get us as close as possible.
Yeah, we should.
On me now, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, behind the building.
Going.
Fine, just it.
100. No, I'm doing it.
Boys.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, they're out in the middle trying to get.
He was there, you know, maybe they come here, you know.
I mean, we're just complicating. Just strip it, like in a safe spot. 1 meter difference.
Oh, it's not bad.
I got that run then.
Right outside of Frag East here.
I mean, nobody was fragging anyway.
2 golds and a purple. Vex, I mean, there's looted pretty
Live is
decent.
fucking horrible, though.
Ah,
Yeah,
Nemesis,
team on
bro,
risk,
is
man.
scary, dude.
Watch out.
Yeah, just go
Especially
down,
once that
like,
thing
using
that gets wound up.
I like this sort of tracks.
Oh,
Bro, this is so bad.
Guys, come.
They're actually sitting in on Vex right now. I think they're the only ones that are around any sort of shooting or anything at the moment on the main broadcast.
Yeah, we'll do it from here. From a safe spot.
Alright, run across the mix. I'm gonna fly up here.
Do it like literally
they're
here.
currently on
Literally on me.
risk, yeah.
Do it on me.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
Alert 5, ready to scorch for
Imagine being in a place in
go.
like,
Take this side, we play for both beacons, and then we decide what to do.
I don't know, maybe a
Do you have
year
any extra vocal? Sorry, ultax?
where I can run like a 2 PC setup and have like 2
Yeah,
screens
yeah,
of 8 going and we can like literally like run our
Yeah,
own
Landroof, we might have to
broadcast. That'd be kind of sick.
Don't know if someone maybe moves here. Don't know.
I have to wall for the beacon, I'm pretty sure, by the way.
No, it's fine.
Honestly, we'd probably even be able to do that with an extra large stream deck and
I
a
mean,
better.
the thing is, if zone is that one,
PC.
then you just leave it.
Honestly.
You don't have to force it. How about the other beacon? Can you get the other beacon without anything? Or
That'd
is it
kind
too
of be
close?
sick, actually, like legit.
But I can just...
Let's go hang on board with Foot Esports real quick.
Yep.
They're also just outside of Frag East here.
They're walking right.
I think that's actually the team that was one of the teams that was looking over at Vex before they rotated potentially.
It's missing on them. They're running down.
Oh no! Give me back! Give me back!
Still sitting up there.
He's on top of it. He's still on top there.
We're still crafting?
Yeah.
So they're just gonna take shots at him on the way in. They're not gonna do anything big yet moving in.
regards to points, it's Thorfinn coming through from what was Oracle, and then of course the transition to KTV. This is his debut, I believe, on the Pro League, and hopefully something that will allow Totem to be on their best foot forward.
You gotta hope so. They've spent a lot of time outside of the ring, however, and with that, it does come with quite a bit of safety since not a whole lot of squads are out there, but it also makes me worried about your eventual rotation into the ring because, well, you did highlight
I haven't
Zephyr,
seen
that
anybody
there are
that's looked
some
at the
squads that are playing more zone-centric now
map.
in this season, Vexed being one of them.
Where's
there
the
are
zone
still
going?
teams around the edge that are waiting for you to come in late,
Does anybody know?
waiting for the
Did you guys hear what I said?
Yeah. Can you say it again? Cause
The zone is going north. We're gonna play our building, clear this north side, and fight towards respawn
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
from the north. That's
We're gonna
how we're
team
gonna-
So Jalen's up on the northern side of the map, up by Climatizer.
They're going to, yeah.
They're looking pretty good. Purple, purple, blue. 3 purples over here on the way of Nightmare Esports.
Dobra, daj mi słowa.
Cracked an enemy shield.
A
Cracked
ja
an
zaraz.
enemy shield. Spotted. Double time in
HG bije, nie pikuj na to. Daję słowa, dawaj.
the chimney. Beat on last.
Widać mnie chyba.
Looks like they're just doing pop shots. What do we got going on over here on the main broadcast, though?
can keep control of, but with Vexed coming up on them, remember,
Do I have a send?
you've got full reads on where everyone else is.
I don't
Vexed
have a
decided
send.
that this fight
Chat,
is
we're gonna have to put a
isolated
send on one of
enough
these.
for them to take to abuse their mechanics.
I can't believe
Keep
it.
your
I
eyes on
surprised.
Tyler,
Had post kill
as
up
he's
and I
got
never
the
pulled up
flank
the
on this
ascend thing.
Valkyrie, but
I'm so mad at
Unlucky starts
myself.
to fry with the car as well, and
He
things
has
get
Vex, though.
dicey for Ascend, one of the best fights.
Fuck one! Oh, fuck.
Give him shield. Yeah. I'm not going to
Matafe was able to get up. Oh, big shots there.
No.
Let's go. You can use me. You can use me.
Nice. So Vex gonna be able to take down Ascend. Ascend's gonna be the first one out.
You watch Insta, okay?
Yep.
The lag is fucking dog shit.
It's crazy to think that there's like lag even on their like servers while they're playing live. That's crazy. I thought they were doing pro build. Didn't they do a pro build for ALGS? Or are they back on the pub build? So there's a fight going on in the main broadcast with the Fly Totem.
None other than our new angel himself, Thorfinn.
Totem's gotten all healed up, but right now they don't have the best position to fight this from.
Jazz gonna have to back down to get back in the rest.
Out and play the high ground.
Oh, sorry,
near
Jazz.
where Sherp is. Up here, it is relatively easy to fight, but still not a great position to be in. Totem have other problems. The zone is closing in again. They've burned so many meds to survive through zone number 1, and now they have
got
to
a team on their
disengage
butt
the
too.
low
Oh,
ground
another team
away
looking at
from
them
the
this way
squads,
too.
and
Oh, they're so
even
screwed,
into
bro.
more that are looking for these kills. You gotta hope that they've
They're
got that
so
redeploy.
screwed,
Trigger
bro.
gets pulled on it, but where can Totem land that is safe? With one squad behind and one squad ahead, it's a puzzle that we'll only have to see solved live.
At least now for SPS, they're slowing down the pace here in the frag.
You can also so well tell that the two of these guys have been casting together.
The other side here of Epicenter, it's none other than Jay Lings, our ones to watch from earlier, just trying to break out of one of this building. But before Nags can make his way back inside, Nightmare's finding the drops.
Just got tagged.
Yeah, but at least
by
keep
that
him away. But you got someone
Bangalore as
pushing up on the
well.
door
And
here.
the beginning of the end for Jay Lings. Defense, especially
Yeah, and
without a
you're
catalyst
pushed
in
up
this
against the
building, should be
ring
next
too.
to impossible, especially in a 2 versus 3. Noises in JMW.
Yeah, Jay Lings is about to go down here, I think, guys.
Does go off this season, but it might not go hard enough. Nightmare are pushing up on this, and we get to discover that they are playing this as a 2 versus 2 at the moment. Seven and Denze pushing their agenda, finding finally that next knock.
So Seven's going to be able to get in and get the
managing to
heal.
eliminate a
Oh, but
squad
Denze?
in time. Denze going to get back in. Totem have gone out in the meantime, and J-Lings still fighting for their lives here, have JMW.
Well, actually have the ability to go for a revive. He's about to die.
There's no way he's going to be able to reapproach those banners, especially with Nightmare taking away what was supposed to be your prime real estate into this next zone. And I can't help but bring up the catalyst, Dia. Obviously, Nightmare on the outskirts looking to play aggressively. No worries there. But for J-Lings to hold something like this, especially without
is someone
control
pushing
legend
Nightmare
to
now?
put up defensive utility, that's difficult. And we see how it pays the price.
Yeah, you don't have Catalyst, no Watson.
Oh, they
no
are getting
Caustic,
pushed
and
here, bro.
Now you do have another team pushing up on you. Lecite de France, who do have the cat, have walked up and taken the offensive fight, knocking down Denze first. And it is going to be yet another big engagement around this building. One that now Lecite de France
Out on the
can
edge, man.
effectively reset from. Picking
This makes
YoLo
it tough for
back up
the
and keeping their
first
eyes
team
on
that back
squads
down,
around them.
because
Nightmare are forced back and ultimately eliminated, as we actually just have them running face first into another team.
Notably,
saying
it's
that
not just
Jay
any other
Lings
team, it was
is out
JM
here in a second,
Lings
right?
Who picks up that
Jay Lings still
final
sitting on the
knock there,
outside.
in part with, of course,
There's no way
FUT
Jay
on
Lings
this
survives
low
this,
ground.
man.
So
They're
a double duke there and gets a little bit of revenge for.
they're
what
also in the
was
unfortunate
almost
situation where, like, because where they're at, like, they're not gonna be able. There is no chance on recovering those
I'll
banners,
move them closer.
which is kind of unfortunate. But you know,
Alright, after this closes,
Is what
keep
it
an
is.
eye on Climatizer, unlucky this. After this closes, no one can come behind
They're a
us.
fucking Pathfinder. Who the fuck?
we have someone using a pathy. Oh, did I sit on board with the coach for Aurora? I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot, Chad. I'll fix that actually right now. Actually, I'm not gonna fix it.
Piece of them
Yeah, we will.
here. Bushi just continuing on with this bang, the initiator for the squad, and hopefully buying SPS away into this.
Wait,
next
is that
zone.
the
They've got two
Aurora
approaches here. Trade
view as
line
the
or
coach?
survey
Actually,
can
that's kind of
happen.
brilliant.
SPS are going to have to pick
To be
between
honest.
fighting for the open ground or taking one into a chokehold.
Where's Ascend? Where's Ascend?
SPS here, obviously.
I can't perform under pressure. Oh, it was Gaiman Gladiators we had their coach. I'm an idiot. Never mind.
SPS put them, because we know for a fact even if you land at a building like this, it's almost guaranteed that there's a squad inside or someone right behind you.
This was a really good move from SPS that was late Valk ults go, putting themselves on the outside of this building might be the difference between them living and dying. It looks so scary, but SPS have a chance to hold on, especially with the Bangalore ult. They've got the Seer ult down as well.
Who's that that's inside?
Full read on the
They've got the shield advantage if they can get. Oh, it's Kella.
Coming out and trying to clear their backs.
Oh, that Nemi. That Nemi sussy.
Kella are on the back foot, and SPS are even looking to get aggressive after the reset here.
Oh my god!
We've got SPS rolling.
Bro, he wasn't playing.
With no quarter given.
And it seems like
another
it's
team.
Not just Kella. The fight continues here with aimbot. It's none other than, I assume, Lecite de France, but there is a savior in their midst. Matafe with an Arc Star. Gaiman Gladiators with their own damage.
Man.
As Lecite de France, what could have been a third party to give them this building, are picked off by other teams. And that's what I mean, Dia, when I talk about the chaos that exists. These sight lines are so prevalent when we talk about this region. For SPS, they're lucky. They get a house from now and a little bit of time to potentially reset.
It's not just luck, Zephyr. That was an incredible play from them, sitting on the outside of this building, transitioning into that 3v3. I am scared of SPS and the things they can do.
Hold on. Looks like Graceful's in a fight down here potentially. Element 6.
Yeah, just seal.
I'm watching it. Yeah.
Maybe not. Oh no. Yeah, they got a squad right over across the way.
I'm trying to shoot the guys out of our tunnel, by the way.
I'm nading onto them.
Same.
Are they rotating still there? Yeah,
I don't know.
I hit 156.
No, there's still a guy on your right. He dropped down now. I think they're all here now. Yep.
So E6 is gonna have to figure out what they want to do if they want to try and stay and keep this fight.
They left. No, they're coming back now. They're balling. Care Maggie ball here. You can wall. Yes.
All right, nice. They're gonna use the Dark Veil to move in.
Yep.
They know that they've used the Maggie ball, so that's one ult that they don't have to worry about.
We have a spot.
And then they're gonna be able to use this space for endgame. Oh no, hold on.
I'm gonna climb up in a second. They're getting shit on the back too.
Yeah. Just hold.
I'm setting though. Is anyone close to us?
Yes, I will.
Yeah, on the backside. Is that just a solo? If that's just a solo, you gotta push this and end it.
Look at this, they're on the mid glitch, careful. I'm batting. You're fine.
They're ulting.
That's good.
I know.
They just need to make sure they're watching their back. Make sure you're watching your back here if you're E6.
I know. I don't have ult tag now.
Have we got any nades or something?
It's actually where they're watching right now on the main broadcast, anyways.
Yes, I will try.
Yeah.
I'm queuing.
How many around here? That lets them know. It's a full. It's 2.
Yeah, I'm going in.
Nice Arc Star. That buys him entry.
That one.
Easy.
I'm batting.
He's playing in the gas here. He's cracked. He's cracked on me, boys.
Dead.
Nice. Oh, it's another squad though coming in.
No, I can't.
You go back around the corner.
Yes.
Yeah, they're gonna have to play this as a duo here at least for now. Make sure that they can heal.
Wait. I'm queuing now. Yes.
Listen, that should.
Is
it a solo?
We're good. Yes, we're good.
No, 20%.
Oh, they're getting helped out from that team that's coming on the left side. Actually, I'm not sure who that is, but that's really helping them. Actually, I think that's Vex.
We're going straight away with them.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You have to.
Bro, that was Vex solo rockets that was helping Element 6 here.
You need to wall. Yes.
Literally keeping that team away.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Play left. Can missile Q.
You good? Keep coming down to me. Come down to me.
Oh, this isn't good.
I'm trying.
All right, 4 squads left here. Oh, E6 is screwed here, chat. Maybe not.
Save on me. Joe, come to me.
Yeah, the fight in here.
I know.
I kind of want to hold on with E6 if they're going to end up. Oh, I don't think they're going to keep this alive. Is anybody else that we're watching alive? No? Okay, let's hang on board with Graceful just for a moment.
You're fine. Buy time.
I mean, they know I'm here.
Yeah, we're actually gonna switch over to.
Were they fighting? Were they trading?
You're good.
Oh,
Cannot
you know
really
some-
do anything to you.
Oh, they were doing a listen-in. That's funny.
They
Oh,
cannot
you know
really
some-
do anything to you.
I know, but he knows I'm here.
I mean, of course, like everyone know. But look the sun. They don't.
That's
go
hilarious, actually. I love when I look over and see that we're on the same thing as the listening.
E6 know who's next to them. In fact, they believe the 2R1C knows where they are. But is that actually the case? Both Start a Fight and 2R1C
I don't know. 2R1C is gonna be worried about those shots from across the way.
Sight lines onto this last.
I don't
member
think
of
E6.
E6,
No,
and
but
it's very likely they're gonna have to fight each other. Blast knows. Blast
Start a
knows
Fight
what's up.
knows.
I
Yeah.
don't know if they can actually get this kill first. And in a game with
They're
3
gonna try
squads
to,
left,
though.
You do not want to overextend and be the first to fall. I mean, so much.
Yeah,
for
but
Start a
even
Fight.
just the
They've
one
got
kill
angles, they've got harass
gets
going
you
down,
nets
but
you
the
4
zone is
points,
closing in,
right?
And it is time for them to rotate. Light's gonna take
'Cause you're at
the risk,
21
taking the
instead
wide
of-
swing, but Uchako lays
Oh,
down the hurt
no.
on one member of Start a
What?
Fight, and now we've got
Wow.
Element 6 in the top 2. That is the danger of
Really well
Light's
done by-
effort.
yeah.
That is
That's the risk you take.
We sit
That's
back
true,
and
though.
play conservative as E6, and what a finish from 2R1C, who put themselves in that position.
So in case
from the
people are
get-go.
wondering why they would push there,
I genuinely cannot believe.
in case people are wondering why you would push there for just one kill, you have to remember that second place on the day for like when you're talking or not even just for the day, but like for match points, it's a 3-point difference, right? Because you get the 12 and then the 9, then was it 7, right? The point differential plus your kills is way worth the investment versus just letting that person die and get given to the other team. Or if you happen, not say die and get given to the other team, but if you were to try and fight the team that's across the way, like they were looking over at 2R1C, let's say if they were to go, oh, it's a solo, we'll clean up the solo after. And then you get in the fight with 2R1C and then you go out in third, it's a bigger point discrepancy versus just pushing the solo. Because even if you like die right away after you push the solo, like in that case, if they would have ended up killing Element 6, right? Since they already invested so much, the one player was down. The one player, even if they would have lived coming out of the storm, would have had basically no shield. You've already gained the points that you're okay with losing. You're okay with not taking first, essentially.
Somehow
Risk
Graceful
reward.
survives, gets the armor swap.
However,
going to take down 2R1C by
Graceful did a good
himself.
job of
For
pushing
second
in
place
right
in
up
that
against
type of
that rock,
situation as a
which
solo.
kept him alive.
Great work from E6 and great work from, I think, a lot of these EMEA teams to kick off game number 1. Dia, I know you guys are watching it, but to me, I was very impressed with overall a lot of shakeups happening over the course of this game. As we take a look at these highlights,
I think
walk me
leave 'em
through
when I got home.
kind of your sentiments with one game down.
I mean, yeah, like just from the beginning here, we highlighted it initially, but with 2R1C choosing not to take that fight, and then Vex's approach from the north, I actually thought that Vex were going to take much bigger control of this game and try and just run at people through this northern train line. Instead, it devolved into this fight, these fights around Survey Camp that claimed so many lives. We had highlight moments from squads like SPS who managed to take down Kella, and of course, this entire cluster of fights over by Climatizer, where all of our edge teams seemed to meet.
Yeah, Zephyr, it became a little bit of the party that right there near Epicenter, and it continued to put people in difficult situations. Was that a part of how it played out in this final circle, meaning a lot of teams that could have been there ended up getting rid of themselves a little too early?
I'll tell you what here, it's not the usual statements for some of these teams to work with in terms of transitioning. Obviously, you get a lot of tempo out of, yes, both that epicenter and survey area, but the fact that this one caters even further towards that western choke outside of train line means that so much of the height and the ridge in the train line that you're allowed to play in a lot of these final zones that go towards this area were not available for so many of these rosters, which allowed teams like Start a Fight and 2R1C, who were there early, to just rack up those gateway kills.
Incredible stuff there as you take a look at the leaderboard. 2R1C, 18 points and a dub to start it off. That is a great thing for them. They'll be excited about their performance and take that into game 2. Element 6, Graceful with a big clutch play to finish that final spray and make it so it's a second place finish for them. Start a Fight Esports, the ones who are on the other side of it, tied with 13 though, so they'll be happy about it as well. Top 3 teams, most notably kind of talking about that. It's a great start, but as we've seen, Dia, things can change instantly when you go to it. A team I've been looking at, a name that is synonymous with EMEA, Gaming Gladiators, Hardeki. At least this squad's starting to get some kills, starting to maybe say, hey, we are back. Split 2 could be our resurgence into this. And anything else stand out to you, Dia, on this backside of our top 20?
I'm gonna throw it out there that I'm really happy to see that at least our bottom teams have changed up quite a bit.
Yep.
Game of Thrones actually making.
I'm be
a
interested to
decent
see what
amount.
if
The
Ascend's
biggest
going to be able
surprise has
to.
be who's ended up in that spot instead of them. Ascend, going out first in their fight against Vexed. That was a terrifying, high stakes fight to start the day with.
Well, J-Lings, Aurora, Ascend, V2, all on the back half of things. We'll see if they can change it all up heading into game 2. It's early here in EMEA. It's early on the West Coast as well. Daylight savings for us on the USA side. So hopefully you've changed your clocks, but don't worry. I got a real simple number for you to remember. Couple minutes and we'll be right back.
Couple minutes and we'll be right back.
Split 2, day 2.
Oh, shit. I just fucked up my camera. I did it. Hold on, chat. I'm all yellow. Gross. Hold on. Let me fix this. I'm so gross and yellow. Bro, that's nasty actually. What the fuck? That auto filter on that thing is gross.
WD Black, the official storage partner of the Apex Legends Global Series.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now take out your WD Black hard drives right now. If you don't have one, you're not a real fan. Okay, I actually do have one. I don't know where it is right now, but again, big love to our sponsors.
He's getting called out.
Hope you guys
Called
are
himself
enjoying the
out.
show as well. We're about
Don't
to kick
do
off
it.
game number 2. And what happened in game 1 was very interesting. I think we saw a lot of teams like
Let's see if Liquipedia is updated here real quick, and then I'll update our scoreboard.
The story
like we always do over here, chat.
Yesterday in day 1 is that you never know what is going to happen. Drug Free in North America took the first 2 games. Dark Zero ended up winning at the very end with a humongous game that showed that they are certainly challengers for the title as well. And Zephyr, I want to get your thoughts on a little bit of how this is unfolding for you in your eyes. I know you specialize in EMEA, so give me whatever you've seen here. Try to wrap it up in terms of game 1. What's the theme that you've witnessed, and where do you think this is heading here in game 2?
It's tough to say because I personally think, especially with how that
I like that he
game
gets
played
the
out,
nod as
it
the
was a
EMEA
realm
guy,
of the
man.
unexpected
He deserves
for
it, bro.
so many of our rosters going into that match. Objectively speaking, there were so many opportunities for these teams to come out with big wins if that had catered Survey Camp, if that had catered towards Train Line, where Ascend made the early mistake-oriented prediction, right? But it never quite made it that way. And so some of those less lacking or non-obvious spots that kind of were a throwaway for 2R1C and start a fight happened to be the dead ringer in the end that gave them their light. Hopefully, as things kind
There's
of
your updated
balance
scoreboard
out as we
chat.
make our way into game 2 here,
As per
we'll see
the
some of those big names start to pop up.
Amazing stuff. Thank you for the analysis, and it's time to kick it off. Game 2 is underway. Let's see what happens as we bring Dia back in for the cast. And Zephyr, you guys go ahead, rock this thing.
All right, Zephyr. Well, we're into it for game number 2, and I'm seeing exactly the same
So I
thing.
wonder if Rain is just going to host the entirety of this
Based on last game,
and let them roll on their
if 2R1C
chemistry
and Kella are going to continue handshaking. They're splitting loot up here. They're actually entering into the mid game with a lot less potential as a team, and yet they're doing so happily.
I'll tell you what I'm seeing, Dia, is a little bit of deja vu. All right, we're getting a bit of a repeat of game 1, but this time around, I want to make something absolutely clear to everyone who sees the map. Notice how it doesn't present as hard towards that northern train line there. That's an implication that this won't be going as distant or as further as we've seen, and still has the opportunity to potentially bounce back even towards that southern end if given the potential pull here. So some of those early rotations that we saw in store for some of the bigger names might actually be more apparent and more effective this time around, especially once we start getting
38,000 bans for an XFL game.
Legends.
St. Louis.
Something that perhaps Reply Totem could pick up. They've got themselves a vault key, so a lot more effective AHP as they get later into the game, and hopefully some nice attachments for them as well. 2R1C's stereotypical rotation, however, up towards Survey Camp has caught them with a little bit more trouble than they had last time. Bitfix Gaming have already shown up and set themselves up right next to 2R1C, so there is potential for these two squads to start poking at each other a lot earlier. Well, Vexed fight their way out.
All right, Vexed.
Lava Siphon, it's the first knock going down onto Andy Jax from Outplayed.
So Vex has the 2v3 advantage right now. But Tafe's going to be able to get a little bit of range overview right now. You do have the R99, which isn't the best weapon for range, but
without Vex being involved in the sentence here, with already one major knock and a big swing from Tyler and Unlucky, they find that
they got to find the last one alive.
Knock onto Wilhelm here, trying to sniff out that last member of Outplayed. They do begin to take shots from an opposite angle.
One more member is what you're looking for.
Oh, another team rolling in actually on Vex now.
And a Seer. Vex are going to have to back off as the third party rocks in over.
It's going to be a good angle here for Tyler, though. He's on the high ground.
First squad. They leave Outplayed in
so that's Nightmare rolling in.
And reset as Nightmare. Roll up looking for a fight. We've got Aurora here as well. This could be
Aurora said ain't no party like a fourth party.
Just before the first round finishes closing. And Vex are preparing for it. First knock has already come in with the Arc Stars putting in overtime for Aurora. And Vex take the wide swing out, trying to cover the building and get themselves some height before this all explodes.
I can't believe how deep the chase is ensuing here. Aurora seconds ago were on North End Siphon, now to the dead center, obviously utilizing that Wraith portal to cover the distance, wanted to potentially clean up what they thought could have been that third party there. Instead, they actually gave the guaranteed loot ability over to Vex to colon to pull back, take some of that access towards OP that they had just knocked down, and then give them their ability to transition towards hopefully where this zone is pulling. For Aurora, it is at least the one additional KP, but not quite the full squad wipe they might have assumed they'd find.
I really appreciate that as soon as they discover that there's more than one squad in the area, Vex
they just backed out.
You know what?
Yeah,
we're leaving.
We're out of here.
They all just pile into the balloon and take off towards Fragment, find themselves another fight, but this one
wait, why don't I have Aurora's team?
Isolated, and that is what Vex have been looking for. The wall keeps
Isn't that what my number 7 is?
Push it effectively and gives Vex the opportunity to fully disengage before FUT can confidently push. No scans going through here means no information.
Hold on, looks like Aurora. Oh, I thought they had somebody over here. Big old rips. Foot doesn't have anybody though. Let's actually jump on board with Foot. It's Foot themselves over here.
Green trail. Someone landed under us.
Okay. Coming to scan.
Must be in first house or something.
Looking over back here at Geyser, trying to see if maybe there's catching somebody rotating out potentially.
They're running out here. I could have skeeved him.
So Taylor here's just gonna do a quick scan over this way just to make sure no one's gonna come on their backside.
Yep.
Pause. Come back this way after hearing the shots, right?
I'm looking as well. Where the fuck is he? Oh, that timing.
You gotta run tunnel, right? There's probably just gonna, yeah,
So they're just taking shots. Oh, there's actually a fight going on over here. It's another fight from Vex. I'd rather.
Already, Matafe does cover the side.
I want to hear actually from Vex's side.
I'm betting. I got theirs. Yeah, just chill. It could be more teams coming. One guy climbing up on me.
I was gonna say, remember they were just in an area that had multiple people, so they could have been tracked.
No, one's still above.
Or just the fact that other people are rotating into frag as well. It's a pretty busy area, right? They know that there's a team on the second floor. One of them being a catalyst here.
I can't get through my door. I'm gonna break it. I'm marking it.
Yeah. Where are they?
I think our floor.
Yeah, it looks like they're on the second floor. Good swing here. They're gonna try and get a second angle. Oh, he gets to come back from behind and shred him there. That's Morning Star is gonna be down. Really well done by Matafe.
Get the armor and make it. Watch it from there, Tyler. It's like sniper.
Looks like Aurora's in a fight here.
Теряйте тапки и убегайте. Вправо, проходите. Старч.
Блокуются?
Прохожу. Да.
Блокуются.
Бьем? Я не могу быстрее отправить. О, можно, нет, да? Повальки. Еще 20. Поваль, кидать, поваль. 20. 10.
How close are they landing? Are they gonna be close enough where they can push on them? Looks like they might.
Там типа, по-моему, да?
Looks like that's actually what they're gonna do over here.
На крышу. Попробуйте вправо пройти, пока я сбить. Надо пройти на марке быстрее них.
They do still have to worry about getting their way into zone here. Doesn't look like we got any other fights. Looks like V2 might be.
And hopefully their next best position for some of these zone reads. But as we pull back towards the higher end of our zone here in train line, V2 are covering angles, potentially just a bit choked out on what might be their next rotation forward. Granted, it's still early, Dia. There's a lot of zone space you can cover, and potentially either pulling out towards Skyhook or Survey is always an option.
One of the best things for V2 here is that they've got that Wraith portal. If they do need to go through this northern side and tank a bit of zone damage, they've got the opportunity to avoid things like that.
That's
in
true.
Later rings. Game of Drones.
They shouldn't have to worry about it here as far as on this one, though.
Defense in the front half of this.
Do we have anybody
line,
that's
but have to keep their eyes on two.
Potentially fighting? Aurora's rotating into actual frag east here. Now into frag west. Probably gonna have a couple of teams over here. Oh, Cleve just got absolutely shredded, my guy. More than likely, this team's gonna push on that. Yep. They're just gonna run it down. That's more than likely gonna be Aurora eliminated. Unfortunate.
Send this last guy running. You got scanned by drone, but keep going forward.
Yeah, I'm keep running.
We just play zone. Keep going
Inside the
forward.
building. On me. Door, here.
Yeah, on the door.
So that was Vexed.
Crack him. Door, dead.
Nice, well played, boys.
It's okay, boys.
Just play the zone now. We don't give a fuck. We're just playing for kills this game.
Yeah, they've gotten themselves a good couple of kills, so they can play themselves where they're at in zone. They're pretty solid.
No.
I need heavy ammo. Probably fucking.
Doesn't look like we have anybody else.
Yeah.
I can't.
Take ultimate and stuff. It's on me. I have two.
I love how some of them will change to a different one afterwards.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't. I don't know what makes it do what.
Sorry, I didn't realize.
Because it doesn't show it like where it's saying like it's spectating. Oh, well, never mind.
I mean, you can scan the beacon now if you
Yeah.
want.
Let's see what Jayling's got going on over here. They're by Climatizer.
I'm hungry.
Unfortunately for Jayling's here.
Let me try and shout them real quick.
As you can see,
Someone coming on the bridge late, like there's loads of threats here.
as far as for Jayling's, yeah, I was gonna say you only got one. You got one white shield.
Sit on the building and fight! Sit on the building and fight! Oh, you got me on scan. I can't. I'm going back.
Fortunately, hasn't get noises away.
We should give this up for Save out cut.
So the 2v3 here. They're outside the zone.
Quite one. Nice. Can I get
think Vex would rotate over here, right?
It's inside. It's inside. Probably not. If you're gonna fight, you have to fight. Don't try and get the banner. Fight or run away. There's your option. Run, nice, run.
Actually, let's sit on foot side of this because they're
We need to kill the front.
Blue. He's blue.
the 3 side.
The die maybe.
Yes, here. It was here. He's knocked. He must be knocked.
I'm walking up.
I'm walking
One is
up.
here. One is here.
I'm here on me.
Yeah, it's above. It's above. I'm scanning.
One is above. Blue armor.
One is shooting me.
On me.
I can't see. You win that off. You win that off. Nice. Kill this. Kill this. Kill that guy. This is
Yeah, I was
cracked.
gonna say
And
it's
then
a
we
good
turn
call to
around.
go and ape this. They need to.
Dead. One more. Turn around after this kill.
Stay up.
We need to push. We're gonna get fucked in the back.
Nice.
I'll walk up and healing.
There's 2
Yeah.
teams out here that Foot Esports has been able to help out with.
I'm healing. You're
So
gonna get
Foot
scanned
and
up
Vex
here.
both rocking right now.
Yeah, I'm getting loot. I'm getting loot real quick.
Is he on roof still?
It's Guyman
Yeah,
Gladiators
I'm
is
back.
pushing in behind him here.
Come to me. Run back far then. There's a guy here. Cracked one.
Oh, there's pinched between 2 teams. They need to push forward and finish this fight if they can.
No.
No, they're gonna go
4
down.
kills though.
It's unfortunate. Good 4 kills though.
It is just built different.
Once it revs up, there's nothing you can do. Guyman Gladiators grab those 2 KP and will end up leaving the loot itself to V2, who catwall just to make sure they can pick up a little bit of extra coin around the side of the map. Now that they've got this safety,
All right, now you
allowed
still
to
have
them
probably
by
one
the
more
Dark
fight,
Veil,
or is
they
Guyman
can retreat
Gladiators?
back into survey
Yeah,
camp
Guyman
at
Gladiators
their
actually
leisure,
gonna go ahead and go
setting
towards
themselves up to the next zone.
They're running across. Yeah, they're running.
And this
east.
one. And this one.
Climatizer. It looks like Vex might be having someone push on them
They're
here
running east building. The ender.
in West.
Yeah, but I will see this one. Can't do much too.
A low bro in market right now.
But the good news for Vex with where they're at, especially with where the kills that they've
We
got
talk
as well,
about
they should be
just
able to put themselves in
across
place
from
for a really
Grandma's
strong
building,
game.
this open space and a little bit of the disparity that you get on some of these cliff
And Vex was
edges
in 4th
that
heading
can
into this,
become
so
an issue for teams who aren't there yet. Is Adan with the portal trying to get V2 in a spot that will let them survive, setting up right in front of Guyman. They only have seconds to potentially get ready for this fight.
Dark Veil comes in for Guyman, a defensive move from them, but the Seer ult means there's no safety here for Loggery, who gets out just in the nick of time, buying a little bit of cover and still
has to
having
step
to
through that
take
veil.
yet another Dark Veil as he tries to protect Hardeki.
Now it's gonna
One
be
of
tough.
these 2 teams is going to fall, perhaps even both
That
of them.
two- is there 3 teams here now?
Third parties certain
Yep.
to be incoming, and just as we speak of them, here they are. Guyman Gladiators are forced back into the depths of Epicenter, back to try and take this engagement again.
That's
But
V2
one
holding
goes
them off
down,
here.
And V2 start to take control. Guyman sandwiched.
There's a bunch of teams over here. V2 ends up going out first though. Guyman's still alive.
The last one alive gets
Not for
pushed.
long though, yeah.
Almost
Gonna end
guaranteed
up going down.
to come through in the end. 2R1C know the fight has concluded and want to make short work of the name himself. Hardeki, though, somehow is alive, and it might be a good read here. None other than Ascend, still playing height, but they do extend the one back. Lufka is covering this sightline. They know one
Is it
back
Lufka
up,
or Lufka?
one
I'm pretty sure it's
incredible,
Lufka.
Miraculous Hardeki
Right?
play, and suddenly you've got another squad
Pretty sure that's what
on
I've
your
heard.
tail, looking to clean you
No
up.
way.
His teammates call him.
This
Oh!
actually might happen. Hardeki might have it. Hardeki saves 2R1C
Wow.
before going down. What a
Get an
clutch
additional
play from
kill. You don't get any more
Hardeki
placement
to
because placement doesn't start
keep
kicking in until 10, but that's really
Gladiators
big.
alive. Now, as they go down, our focus does turn to Ascend. That Ascend, who, like you said, we're on the high ground, who can.
I want to actually sit on with Element 6 while they're in this fight.
Back flash. Wait, I'm gonna cancel. Chill.
Cancel that. And then he cracked here.
I canceled him. Balk one.
They should be able to push up off this, especially because where Swinny's at. He's got that cover on against the
It's over.
little wall there.
Ran out.
Oh.
I can wall the.
Yeah, you have to.
They're nading me. Careful. Fight time.
Is that another team coming up from above? Yeah. Looks like. That's going to be tough. Cyril's going to at least help you out a little bit. You're now in top 10. You're going to be able to use this to help you
Yeah, just move right.
try and get some positioning, but Bro, playing with this has to be so annoying, dog. Don't look this way. Yep. That's tough, man.
7 as Element 6 bite the dust.
Add an E6 as well.
Do I have
Some of the
Ascend?
biggest names are out here. Ascend still well within it, but they also face a knock in their own right. Hopefully,
where's
pulling
my
for a
Ascend stream?
revive as we speak. And against all odds, out from their choke, Game of Drones are
Real talk.
happily allowed
I have
to
Ascend
progress
picked.
further into this next zone. Obviously, a squad ahead holding the building, but like I said, Nemesis in hand, sightlines prepped and ready. They're gonna full send.
This is the last clip for Jules. Needs energy ammo desperately, and as we rock up, it's got to turn into a full squad wipe or nothing in the favor of Game of Drones. There we go. Deathbox is right below them, just out of the line of accessibility. Little bit of cover still allowed for Game of Drones, but in the top 6, you cannot extend without a bit of cover. Start a fight in SPS, bite the dust, and now we're
try
fighting
and
for
long
power
rotate
positions.
this?
Game of Drones, who were on the high ground, who swung out towards the west, have lost
Where are you trying
all
to go?
priority on the zone and need to try and come around through the north to regain some of
This
it.
zone's like all closed in. I don't know if going wide helps.
For this recovery for Game
I
of
guess
Drones,
unless
they're
you're hoping
the ones
maybe
who
that the
finish
fight goes in
off
on the middle.
Starfight on what was their excursion into the dead set center of that train line.
Bro, Bitfix is chilling, dog.
More than happy with the height that they've got to work with on the Spire, and thankfully for them, this is into our final zone here. We'll have to wait and see how.
What a
the poll
spot for
presents
them
itself,
here, man.
But it usually allows squads who get up on this particular height to survive just that little 1 or 2 placements further from having all those extra head peak angles.
And Bitfix have survived this long because they've not interacted with anyone. Very little damage, very few kills, but now we're in the part of the game where they're most comfortable. The end game where things like Caustic and Mad Maggie
can do a lot of
ludicrous
damage.
amounts of value from their ability to deny cover and make you suffer for poking your head out from it.
As of right now, they haven't quite found much of anything. Some minor pings regarding the positions of these
They're
teams,
just gonna try and wait for these last couple fights to break out.
A knock that labels them for their
They gotta
kill
send
here.
on their right,
We get
though.
A fantastic visual, of course, of our 5 remaining squads, and you can't count them out. They may have fell early, but Ascend are still within it, and they might swoop in at any moment. But Bitfix have dropped you.
Trix has a good call here. It's the right call to pressure Passion on the inside of this RV. One of the more threatening squads, and also the one that is most easily bullied by things like the Caustic and the Mad Maggie. Ascend are dealing with their own problems, is out on the side of the ring. They've been forced onto the low ground. Bitfix exposing their backs to Ascend, the duo on this low. Do lose Zeraphor for the moment, but it's in a fight up against Passion.
I was gonna say, but they'll be able to back down off this?
Struggling to uproot. Rez is going to go off. Zeraphor will
Can they
be
get the
back
full
in the
reset?
fight. Rez not canceled by the Seer, but a defensive ultimate should mean that Bitfix have to wait a few
Where's
minutes
Ascend at,
to
though?
go
Didn't they
and
still
push
have high
this
ground
again.
on the right over there? The other side of this mountain?
And Bitfix here, even though we've seen multiple knocks and drops, no full squad has fallen.
Like most
as of
teams
yet.
are in here, but aren't
Bitfix
Ascend
obviously
over that
trying
rock to the
pressure
right?
into this
I'm pretty
cart
sure.
sightline, are looking for the final wipes that should eliminate Passion from this lobby. But for now, they also understand potentially just biding their time. Even Zeraphor is back to the height, utilizing this extra space to wait out the
Ascend
fights
moved.
that they know lie in wait just ahead of them.
And Game of Drones, having made their way through that northern
Wait, is Share
side
the
of
last one up
ring,
for Ascend?
have found themselves in zone as well. No one at their backs.
Oh, yeah.
Plenty of space to harass other teams, especially the squads like Passion that are going to have to give up the meager cover.
The tough thing is once they give up their high ground, they kind of jump into the middle of everything.
From out of trouble as well, since Game of Drones also have a great angle to harass them.
Here's a problem. The drop is almost necessary to come through here from Bitfix in just a moment forward. You have to wonder, is Ascend behind them to find the damage that might let them reap what they sow? Instead, it's Trix fully sending this.
Dude, this is a good push up into the high grounds here from Trix. Dude, that was beautiful. Ascend's only got Kashera behind him. Dude, this is supreme high ground. This might be dub for Bitfix. Oh, he's gonna have to drop down though.
His attention, it is waned. It's too late, and Rondon and crew are
Yeah, but
allowed
they
to
can still
survive that
reset
extra
here, right?
second longer.
the fact that there are no knocks on Game of Thrones, they survive the onslaught.
Oh, the man.
Now find themselves in just a 3 versus 3. They emerge from behind the catwall, fully healed, and Game of Thrones farm in game number 2.
Well, very well done by them there in the end. I thought for a second when we saw them drop back from Bitfix, I thought they were going to be able to get a full revive or a full reset, but they weren't able to. And that kind of ended up
but through some decisive action
costing them in the end. Not kind of, it did
when it
cost them in the end.
They managed to find their success.
Randy, what was that?
What an end game. I love the call, Valley of Death. It felt like that never ended. And we also got to Mount Olympus, for so to speak. A lot of these other plays came from on high, and they also were in between these catalyst walls. We're definitely seeing the meta shape up. Everyone watching knowing that is going to play a big part of at least the beginning stages of EMEA. Great stuff from Game of Drones, though, fellas. And as we prep these highlights to go back into round 1 and kind of talk the story, Game of Drones, they have more points right now than they did after 6 games yesterday. That is incredible. Coming in 19th place, this is a team that needed to perform, Zephyr. And I think, honestly, when you get a win like that, your confidence has to just be through the roof.
This is a team that we know is more than capable here, coming through from preseason qualifiers and at least being one of those better performing teams within the top 20 of last split. I'll tell you what, that first day is nothing more than a fluke for Rondon and crew.
I mean, sometimes you just have bad days, you know what I mean?
And when it counts,
sometimes I feel like, especially early on the split, like I understand you need to build storylines still, but
on the docket, can they continue
building on like one
that
bad
performance,
performance, you know?
spells otherwise.
Yeah, and Dia, that's the hardest part, right? Sometimes you do get matchups that work. I remember looking at Ascend as well and some of these other top performing teams. You could kind of note that A versus C was when they performed the best. Last split, it may just be the case that Game of Drones have a really nice matchup here in A versus C.
I don't want to go that high.
I also noticed that Element 6 and Start a Fight keep rotating into each other right outside that train tunnel, and that's exactly where Start a Fight ended up actually committing to that and eliminating Element 6. So what are you seeing trend-wise here happening in, obviously, Game 2 now of this A versus C matchup?
2R1C stand out as being the ones that are always going to rotate out through the north. I love that you call out the mirroring that we're seeing happen between
that's why, because my chair went down. I was like, bro, why does nothing seem right? That's why.
Group days, just what squads want to take the same paths as you, and yet Vexed are the ones that are defying that. And well, it may not be the only thing that we're seeing. It's certainly the most obvious. Vexed are getting mirrored by so many other squads. They are taking so many fights as they just try and rotate in. They can't help but clean up the KP.
All right, so that's 2 games here down.
And it is loud in their second day of the ALGS.
As we head to as well. Go ahead, Zephyr.
No, I was about to say, I tell you what, Dia, you come to play when Vexed are in the lobby here. For this roster, a fantastic representation of what drives them as a pure and initiating fighting squad. The only team, though, they couldn't quite match up against, and it's similar to what we saw yesterday in day 1, was none other than Ascend, one of the few rosters who, in our last game, had a terrible, terrible start, have managed to come back on top of it. And while they do not win that game, they are almost everything of a deciding factor in that final moment as they drop Bitfix in what should have been their crucial push.
And let's talk about Bitfix's lineup too. We'll have a chance to look at in the final circle after this. Run of the Maggie and the Caustic. They're acting like Aurora out here. We'll have to wait and see if Aurora can step it up. I know who did, though. Stole the show about midway through. It was Hardeki, grabbing some incredible plays, holding off what seemed like an unwinnable situation, 2v1ing, and may still have ended up as the kill leader. More to come from Gaming Gladiators and Hardeki's resurgence here after a disappointing split 1. But this is Bitfix Gaming climbing to the top.
I thought this play was going to be what?
Carried away with themselves behind Zephyr. Also, Dia kind of got caught with Ascend, who was pushing them at the same time.
Yeah, it was split priorities for the side of Bitfix Gaming.
I thought for some reason it looked like there was only one. I think it must have been the spectator thing.
They were dropping down to look at Passion. It was Trix that went on that journey first, identifying correctly that Passion was the squad that needed to be uprooted. It's the same thing that happens there, and it feels like Trix and the rest of the Bitfix squad are on slightly different pages. I like the plays, but they need to happen together.
All right, let's do this. I'm going to start with you again, then you can toss it to Ben whenever you feel ready. But let's take a look at that final circle and just watch how Game of Drones maneuvered for that victory.
Yeah, this was honestly perfect from them, and a little lucky as well that they did not get knocked. But from Torja's perspective, things were not going well. He gets pushed off of the height, they lose utter control, and it's because of Catalyst Friday that they're able to stabilize at all. Strix is having trouble finding sight lines, nobody else can see this team. And then Game of Drones just wait for the curtain to drop and their performance to begin. Did you see something else here, Zephyr?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, here is a prime suspect of the wait and bait from Game of Drones. It gives them all the time in the world to recover, especially when that height, the crucial height that was played by none other than Bitfix, was no longer available here. After that point between Ascend and Bitfix, they had already peppered each other and provided the damage that decided who we'd be seeing as a winner in that game.
Incredible stuff from Game of Drones. I think they're around 22, 23 points total. 20 points in that game though, and 13 overall after 6 in yesterday's performance. So a great start for Game of Drones in A versus C. A little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. Bitfix Gaming in second place, taking 10 points. Ascend because of the kills, although in third, going to round up to 12 points and take the second position overall. Passion, Kella rounding out the top 5 with Startify Esports not too far behind, and Vex Gaming actually getting some great points, allowing them to be put in a wonderful position. But react to this, Dia. Game and Gladiators, 12th place. It doesn't feel like it, though, with the 7 kills that you can tell Hardeki put together.
No, it doesn't. I mean, that is ridiculous. Game and Gladiators clearly figured something out that game, and a large part of it was around this building that we keep seeing fought over by Climatize, the little macaroni building we've got on the hill. They started there and then just kept on taking fights on the way in. Hardeki's clutch will live in history. Yeah. That was such a good way to keep the squad with 3 full extra KD.
You know, Apex history, it's got like a big library. Hardeki's like got a room by himself. All of the clutches, all the little moments that he's got. You got to go in the Hardeki vault to get that one. Not enough room to hold them together with everyone else. We'll bring you those results in just a moment, or we may end up doing it after this next game. But either way, you can tell Game of Drones, here it is, has done a phenomenal job. They have moved into first place, Zephyr, followed just 2 points by Vex Gaming.
I'll tell you what, I know Rondon's very happy. Chatted him with this morning. He said, oh no, yeah, we've come to play today here, but you can't help but call out Vex at any given point. Matching the full pace of kills in that lobby, even though they don't manage to survive, definitely shore up their weaknesses and keep up the pressure on what will be a race today.
Aurora, surprising, maybe the only one, 17th place, 3 points. J-Ling's also in that bottom 15. We'll see if they can step it up. One more game on Storm Point, and that means we got to get to it. So without further ado, let's head over to the final game of this first section of maps. Dia, Zephyr, take it away.
All right, Zephyr, last time for these, I'll say, more storied teams to show us what they're all about. If you've been playing Apex Legends since the beginning, you know World's Edge like the back of your hand, potentially even better, because I tell you what, I cannot describe the back of my hand. However, as we jump into this third game, I got some questions specifically about Aurora, because they are one of those more storied teams, and yet they've been absent.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's that transition that they've had struggles with. Both of these zones cater towards the north, where they usually start in Harvester. We know for a fact that chokes explicitly out and into Fragment can be so nasty. But for now, we're just gonna take a chill pill. We can talk about them later. 2R1C, these darlings have come to play, okay? Kella Gaming are already down 1 member. Juso, usually it is them who come out on top and find their success in the early. It's Uchako with this Mastiff, the only gun on his belt that says, I don't care, we're taking it close, up and personal.
Kella Gaming have gotten so used to this not being contested that after losing the first, they are set so far behind. It is still winnable for them, especially with purple on the other side. Hiarka does end up picking up, ultimately, what I thought was going to be a good trade, not a good trade, gets knocked, and now Instantly, Rez is going to go off as Kella do get wide swung and finished off. It was much closer than that had any right to be after Uchako got the first knock.
But if you are 2R1C, this is a fantastic thing to come out on top of. A full POI that you can now invest in for the remnants of this game. And that's especially important, especially since this time around, no deja vu, Gia, no repeat. We're heading all the way back down towards the south here.
Totally different game, and I do wonder how it will impact teams that have had repeated success. I think teams like 2R1C that have had that rotation, they constantly get to jump back in on Game of Drones, who have felt very comfortable along with V2 moving their way up to the train line. Now we'll have to take a slightly different approach. Well, they've got the opportunity to kit themselves out, specifically Game of Drones, around this replicator. They're making the best use of it by grabbing some much needed meds for later on. Sitting on blues right now, the road ahead is long.
Bat, everything that you need to fight in store here. I'll tell you what though, you look at that current crafting rotation up there in the top left, and mobile respawn is in play, and at any given point here, while we haven't seen it yet, I know for a fact, especially as we start to address what maybe not will be World's Edge, but Storm Point, teams might be picking that one up as well, given the chaos that presents itself on that map.
It's certainly a possibility, I'd say even a likelihood. Game of Drones, however, their game plan is so often to play more conservatively, to sit inside that ring and play from there. The journey through the Mirage à Trois will likely take them over by staging, perhaps a little bit of thermal, before we ultimately end up likely near that high ground, just outside of thermal to the northeastern side. Something that a lot of teams will be prioritizing. Looking at Lava Siphon, plenty of squads believing the zone will end there as well.
SMS here caught in a little bit of a fight towards Geyser right now. They've actually been met with what seems to be a Watson lying in wait here, but with that Catalyst in play, obviously they can take control of any one of these effective Geyser buildings. Taking to the roof for now, they're gonna try to see if they can peek out, start finding the damage that counts for them, but not quite in the presence of any good sight lines here. You can already tell that J-Lings have pulled back, but nope, they're on their way in.
With the Digi on this R99, Noises can feel a lot more confident pushing up into the smokes, and essential for any Bangalore player. But J-Lings, Geyser is not their final destination. Clearing out a squad is certainly going to be nice. With them already having control with this Watson around the outside, we do have the opportunity to harass Morning Stars, but we'll use that time instead to relocate real quickly. J-Lings don't have to take a fight yet.
I find this so difficult to start in any real way here, because even if you try to assault on this opposing door, almost immediately will you see the recovery from Morning Stars to take it further west side of Geyser, and there's a building just ahead of that you'll never be able to get a full push into. And for, well, J-Lings, I feel like they've finally figured that one out, or at least for the time being, going to reconsider their options, because we did get a little bit of a sneak point on that second pull of the ring, and it is going to be showing just right on the edge of Siphon Hole.
We've got FUT hearing the shots down there and going, well, maybe we can pick up a few kills. Anybody rotating through this choke is going to get ratted on. No way out of that once you commit out of Geyser. So for one of either J-Lings or Morning Stars, we could very easily see them fall if you just take a moment and perhaps forget to scan on the Seer, believing that things will be safe. For the moment, J-Lings are fine. They've still got that rotation up to the north if they want to take it. You can tank zone 1 for a little while if you want, and there is, as we said before, no need to be upset, no need to fight. They've got plenty. My concern does start to, I'll say, show itself, though, when I think about how they're going to rotate into Lava Siphon, because the time spent out here isn't one where they're going to be in danger of going down, but when they rotate in late,
I'm gonna have
that's
to,
going to be the real problem for J-Lings.
Yeah. we'll see how that shakes out. Meanwhile, on the interior here, Nightmare wanting to take away this particular edge
Have
of
to
the launch
apologize
site.
for
This
stepping away,
building
man.
can sometimes work out to be that
My
kind
bad,
of
yo.
final pull height high ground if the zone does cater towards southern end. And for Totem, they want to make it clear that this is their lay
to get some
stake
stuff
in
squared away
claim
for
here.
them, man.
Not on that catalyst. Instead, their defensive choice of opportunity going to be playing off of the caustic. Traps down
Already missed
and
the whole
potentially
ring.
damage
Holy
back
cow.
here. Nightmare, I don't know if
My
they
bad,
seem
y'all.
to care yet. They continue to smoke out and play the digi.
Great abuse of that Bangalore smoke as well to force out not just the Seer ult, but caustic gas
get
as
scores
well.
updated for y'all
Denzé
too
takes
here.
a bit of damage, aware that there is another squad looking at them, but you continue to force out cooldowns like that by
right.
just using this smoke to obscure vision, and Nightmare are going to slowly but surely push this squad
Reply
out.
Totem's in a pretty
Reply
tough spot
Totem
here in the sense that they
struggling
haven't been able to
hold
put too many
on
points
the
up in the
inside
first
of this
couple
building
games.
right
Last
now.
thing
You
you'd
have
want to do is go
Caustic
down
to
early here
make
again.
things a little bit easier, and importantly,
They're getting pushed by Nightmare,
a
though.
of their own on Jazaz. We've got one on the car as well. I think everybody knows that Bangalore's becoming meta.
And I can't help but notice with so many of these resources already being expended from both of these sides, this fight doesn't work out in any true clean way.
Anybody else
here, which
fighting currently?
Even if we do see it process.
I kind of want to actually sit in
I'll push mid,
on the Nightmare side, see how it sounds on their end. They're the team that's pushing into Reply Totem here.
Tak, plecy mamy, nie możemy. Cofnij.
They're going to fall back here, actually, it looks like. Smart play, because they don't want to make too much more noise and end up getting third-partied, right? So, you can understand why they'd want to do that. Doesn't look like we have any other fights going on. We'll jump back on board with the main broadcast. Looks like 2R1C might be in a fight over here.
As we sit in No Name and sort of wonder how this fight will turn out. Their rotation incidental at most, as there's no objective around here. Just a nice path for both teams. Unfortunately, not as nice for Bitfix as they lose their second member and now are whittled down to just one member left. You have to imagine
Which wrecking ball was that?
2R1C are disengaging from the Serapher, barely able to get in zone. But
Oh, dude, now he's getting chased down.
For very long.
An almost perfect triangle of bullets to end my man Zerafer. Caught out, not white with his pants down. They were pulled up high as he tried to take for the hills there, but couldn't quite find himself in, well, a place of luck as we see V2 on their rotation. For FUT, they this time are getting their own taste of the nightmare here. Stuck in the dreamscape, tight in between the darkness. They won't face difficulties in the face of this squad. A double knock found and even some resets coming through here to potentially pick up that last remaining member. And Exhibit should slow things up here, but from this distance, Taylor tries to finish the job with that flat line. Instead, it will not be them. It's SPS that finds Denzé.
See if we got anybody else.
Being able to pick up those kills, though, a big turning point.
Wait, we've got a foot, don't we?
Go down in the
Yeah,
kill
we
feed.
do. It's Taylor
I'm trying
here.
to hold them somehow.
I have no bats now.
I'm dropping,
down
I'm
here.
dropping you one. I'm coming to drop one. I'm using accelerant. The Seer ulting back here again. Maybe they have another team on them.
Could be. We need to hold this team.
Yes.
Maybe just push and kill it.
If we get the chance, yes.
They want to try and end this fight quick. They do know they're right by where this next zone is, which does let them know that there's a good chance there's going to be other teams here, because a lot of teams are rotating early, right?
Hold this out. We're good.
So they need to finish this fight.
They could be playing up here.
It's fine. There's two teams around the ramp.
The
One
problem
up
is when
there,
they
one
push
below.
out to over there, they're doing basically
They're
putting
running down
themselves
here.
into that bad position, right?
On my right.
So you don't want to overextend.
All the way down. All the way down. In the building
I'm
again.
holding behind still.
Wait, looting on me.
I'm coming.
Come on, dead.
Nice.
I'm coming as well.
Get the flush on this if we can. We gotta remember the house team is gonna walk out again. I'm
All right, so
coming.
this zone's starting to close
Where
in.
they at?
2 seconds out.
They know they have a team down to the right,
Look about.
I can't see him.
One way.
Can we get
down
can we get the
actually
flush?
like towards launch site area.
Underneath down here somewhere.
Let's get the flush. Let's get... Nice. Clear this.
Or not launch site.
One is above me. I hear someone above me.
Blue armor.
It's over here. On my red ping.
Lava site
He's
area.
running in.
He's blue.
Cracked. Literally one.
They're gonna try and keep pushing in here and try and buy as much space as possible. They don't have ring information anymore, but they do know that this
Fucking strong this guy.
is where the next one was gonna go, that they got themselves a good spot here if they can maintain this.
Yeah, go loot.
Don't go loot alone right now.
No.
He's playing down here. They ran down there.
Here you loot.
They're
Okay?
rest and they're playing down here now.
You guys go loot. I need heavy and light.
Good fucking shit, Lippen.
All right.
Don't know.
Can I pick wall?
Vex now is going to be in a fight. I think Vex is actually basically looking on the bottom side of where they're just at. So they're looking on the other side of that team that they just pushed out on the other side.
Full team. In Carvin, I think. Yeah,
Guys, close to us. In our building. On this side below. I'm playing back.
I'm with you. Like I'm
Wait,
also.
no, they're not in, but they're in the caravan.
Went bottom, no?
No, they're in the caravan.
Right side.
Oh,
They're here.
Yeah, that's a different team. Play top floor. Doors on top floor. We just play top floor.
I mean, they are, no?
Yes, two different teams. But yes, there is a team.
So
down there.
Vex has 2 squads underneath, or 1 squad underneath them, 1 around the way.
Playing caravan.
It's a what's encrypted team.
Looks like J-Lings is actually in a fight on the main broadcast. Let's hang into this. Trying to find their way in.
The sight lines and provide that next rotation forward here, but as J-Lings usurp and find themselves onto this height, they're already
Seeing some
enabling
Watson.
extra damage. And while they're not the ones to find the first knock, they do provide the second.
There's plenty of cover out here, both on the high ground and the low.
Unavelli enters the chat.
To make use of now, playing around with that safety. J-Lings will likely have to move themselves down into this geyser-esque area.
This is J-Lings that is down here in this area. Let's actually sit on board with them. They're still outside of the zone, so they have to try and push in, but they also don't want to move too soon. This zone's going to start closing in on them, though. I think they actually have a team on their backside as well. Yeah, on their high ground, too.
Ready to swing with knives here? Okay. Come on. We're gonna run in here on the low ground, I think.
Able to avoid the cat wall. And that means now they're actually in zone. They just have to be able to buy themselves some space. The only problem is there's another team on this other side of the rock. They still have to worry about that team back behind them as well. I think they pushed up a little bit too far up. Yep. Their only help is if that team behind them comes over and helps as far as in the opposite angle. Oh, or you just get naded. That's unfortunate. Looks like J-Ling's gonna go down completely here. Yep.
Devastating.
Ooh.
Unfortunate, man.
That was such a devastating swing from Game of Thrones to finish off J-Lings. No prisoners taken, no quarter given. We see another squad bite the dust and start a fight, attempting to do the very same up on this high ground, have the cat wall in play, a little bit of visual obstruction for them. And have to get aggressive, likely onto this low ground right next door.
What are those portals
just
for
to
them?
make sure that
For a
this
revive,
finishes before the squad can come back to bite them. V2 do go out, and we're gonna see more passive play from those on high, as no more bang smokes, cat walls, nothing to keep you safe.
I will say it's a big reward for Game of Thrones, though. Obviously, on that low ground, what was that final push there from V2 ends up in them picking up another additional.
The starter fight even has no idea about this team on the low ground to their left.
In that geyser low. Now, obviously, for Game of Thrones, still looking for a place of recovery right now, and obviously being down there, never the best position you want to be in. So
well, it looks like Vex is trying to find themselves a little bit of space over here.
Yeah, I thought you said go up, so.
Pick something up on the outside over here. Obviously, with being outside the ring.
I mean, that's just
The late Valk ult, though, man. That's risky.
We could go under the bridge. We could walk ult now and go under the bridge. Only 11 squads. It might be open. I think we do it. Go.
Okay, doing it here.
Might gonna shoot us.
No, it's fine. I think they expected.
Okay.
Fly left, so we see. Yeah, under there.
Take a quick look over on some of our other teams. Ascend over here on the bottom. On the low ground over here, but they are in zone where they're at.
They will fight one, I think. There's 2 teams one. I'm pretty sure there's 2 teams.
Make sure no one is above us. Like, let us know if there is team above us or not.
But there's that big crypto value where you can just kind of see where everything else is going on. What do we got over?
luckily for them, they've got that extra.
I want to actually sit on with Vexed.
I'm popping out to be started, okay?
Yeah, just keep pressuring right. Keep pressuring right. It's fine.
Wait, there's a guy up on height. Is that third on height?
Don't know, but we have to hard pressure right, boys.
Quick here.
I'm scanning it.
So Vex is going to run into that other duo. That's a duo that they're going to be able to clean up here.
Yeah.
But But the duo's now getting looked at by that. I'm guessing that's probably started a fight looking at him on the high ground.
Absolute, swing it.
He's gonna die, he's gonna die, he's gonna die. Almost.
And they're trying to zero. Play slow and play the side. Clean up. Look, see.
Another team rolling in. There's Game of Drones going down.
They got shot.
Yeah, look,
More than likely, that started a fight that's looking at them on the right.
What about left?
Valkyrie. We should get angles with this. Just ignore left.
Okay.
I'm betting. Yeah, betting. Keep looking for this.
Good news is they don't have to worry about pressuring this fight too quick, right? You still have 70 seconds till this zone starts closing in.
I have nades. Give me a second. Spamming on them.
Oh my god. Okay, popping a bed.
3 nades on them. 3 arcs on them. Crack. Crack another.
Sheesh.
Damage dead.
Nice. Almost knock one. Knock two.
Nice.
Big nades, man.
Can you climb up and
Really
get
well
hyped?
done.
Can you climb up and get hyped?
Yeah, I'm going.
I have to get the loot 1 sec, okay?
Yeah, dude. There's people, no one in front of you. Only people at the bridge.
Yeah, they're fighting me. Hold.
I'm gonna stay on board with Vexed here.
There's a team on left,
Watch
so
it
you
here
guys
as well.
hold off. I
Yeah, I'm
won't.
just eating this.
Hey, inside.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. I'm looking for a scanning for you.
The right side corner.
I'm burning this door.
I'm with you.
You guys got this.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, bro. Vex going nuts right now.
Guys, we have a knock at the bridge. It's a solo at the bridge.
Okay, coming.
No, it's a full team inside actually. But they're fighting.
Oh, they're fighting. This is gonna be Vex building up a whole bunch more. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Destroying Gen.
Watch on my spot. Then throw down. Look.
Vex just rolling this right now.
We have all 3 on this side. Just kill this.
Yeah.
They'll be able to look down on it.
I'm looking.
Oh, too easy for Vex, bro. They're just feasting right now, bro.
Come up.
Oh my goodness.
Other side.
I need.
They're not in. I don't have ammo, but fuck it. Under me. Close. Really close.
Oh! One clipped with the last clip.
I'm on scan. I died. 2v1.
I'm reloading.
They got this. They got 2 down. 2v1. There it is. Vex goes away with the dub. What a crazy ass end game, bro. Holy shit, dude. Man.
That was so good.
That was perfect.
That really was over.
Yeah, we won. We had like 15 kills or something.
That's insane. And we got to watch all of that. That's awesome, bro.
Oh man.
Holy
actually
fuck.
pitch perfect.
Yep.
Could have been any better.
So well done, man.
The description for it, I'm not going to repeat it here on the official broadcast, but I think we can all understand the sentiment. What a game. And Zephyr, you talk about Vex so much, but this has to be a little bit cathartic for you to see them show up like this.
That was a, man.
I just want to say, Tyler told me. He said he'd promise he'd make something happen today. He'd deliver a win in the DMs earlier this morning, and they've just been ramping up from the get-go. Game 1, slower. Game 2, matching with kills in terms of the highest in the lobby, and finally here, even when they were
that ended
up
was
against the wall,
disgusting,
forced
bro.
into a situation where they had to play edge, where they're trying to fix that right now. They understood exactly what they need to do, but even still then, in the low ground, Game of Drones, ANC outplayed. So many obstacles to present themselves in the best position possible, and they make it happen because they just don't lose.
Well, to give them that hype, I love it. I'm going to bring it to the realism too of their story, which is they have some of the best fans, some of the most motivated fans, and at LAN, they wanted more. They wanted more of a result. It was E6, it was Ascend, it was Alliance, and when you look at yesterday, the teams that they were playing against who took that top 3 spot was Fire Beavers, it was Ascend, it was Alliance. So Vex is truly needing to get into this form, not just throughout the split, Dia, but they've got to bring it all the way through into LAN when it matters. And yet, when we all watch them at their peak, it feels like they can beat anybody in the world.
It certainly does, and their fighting prowess has really never been in question. Even at LAN, they were a team that I would hesitate to just take an isolated 3v3 against. I think what's really changed about this squad coming from Split 1 playoffs into just the first couple days of the season is how they're approaching
that whole
these
endgame
fights
from
now
Vex was
in
something
order to
else, man.
isolate them.
Holy
I feel like
shit,
being able
bro.
to play at the highest level of competition in the world has given Vex this big picture view of how do we play not just our game in EMEA of Apex Legends, but how do we make sure that our game
Chat,
of Apex
I know I've been
Legends
stepping away
is the
quite a
best
bit.
that you
Little
can play,
man's
allows for no
feeling
mistakes,
kind
and
of
they're
lonely
getting
with
so close.
Taking on,
I'm out,
obviously,
Shabba.
Unlucky
Let me
with
go
the
make sure
Catalyst
he's
2, adopting
doing all right.
that meta with Seer and Valkyrie. They're not
There's
shy
your scoreboard
about
right
it. They're not going against the grain. They just feel like this is working, and certainly this has been a day for Vex. I'm sure these highlights are going to roll pretty soon. We'll be able to talk a little bit about it, but overall, guys, I mean, just a great start for them. They certainly have pushed themselves into first place. I'm not sure if that's the entire story of today, Dia, but I think in general, we're seeing Vex definitely have that kind of showing up moment that we certainly would have expected. Walk me through what Game 3 occurred in Game 3 here with these highlights.
And Game 3 was certainly one where teams left absolutely nothing on the table. Even 2R1C and Kella went at it because they knew it was the last time you're going to be able to take that 50-50. And it turned into so many fights, especially along this eastern edge, this northeastern side of the ring, as squads had to adapt for the first time to a southern zone. Zephyr, you pointed this out at the beginning, but it caught so many teams off guard, and we saw many different performances simply because we had a lot of different squads that were mirroring each other on the way in.
Absolutely. It's where we saw most of the contesting, especially down here in this region, between the likes of Nightmare, FUT, and of course Totem, who I thought early on with that high ground pull were going to be able to survive, but never quite came through. Obviously, J-Lings and the like, especially out here in this Siphon area, a little bit more of a return to the norm. Teams like Alliance, of course, E6, E6 and Ascend, who are the ones who managed to survive into the upper end of our series here today, albeit we didn't quite catch how they were on their transitions and they didn't quite survive for those wins. They were right up there. They're in the placement. They're finishing up on the top end, where that should net them a more balanced score as we start to approach, well, what will be Storm Point here shortly.
Yeah, and E6, Ascend, they do well on Storm Point. They've got a nice adjustment for that map, and I feel that it is going to lean into them now warming up a bit more to having a nice finish on the day. Vex, too, a team that has definitely sometimes struggled. World's Edge has almost had their game open up because of this aggressive style that Storm Point is able to present, and they have certainly tried to tone that down a bit with cautious play, and it's worked really well here to close it out. 39 points you can see at the bottom left. Before this is even over, probably at another 3 to 4 on top of that.
Wow.
Maybe 4 to 5. You're going to see where they are. Let's take you over to the results of today's final game on World's Edge. 3 more to go. But 24 points, 12 kills, phenomenal showcase from them. E6, Ascend right behind them. Our favorites of the day, Aurora, making a place at 6, showing up maybe a little bit slower than we would have thought. We'll need a big back half of the day to start making some inroads into the top 5. However, when you look at the bottom half of this too, you're going to see some teams that we maybe, again, we're hoping a little bit more from in terms of consistency. I'm a big fan, though, Zephyr, of, Game of Drones. They got to win. Wasn't their best game this time around. They placed 11th, but they got 5 kills. And I think 6 points is okay in this type of situation.
Oh, absolutely. A 6-point average across all 6 games is 36 minimum. That's more than enough to present yourself in a position. When we talk about overall standings, I mean, anything compared to yesterday is better, but replicating success at the highest level just to put up averages like that is so crucial here. They're able to pick up, start a fight in V2 and their excursion out there in Lava Siphon, and that's where you see the majority of those kills there. And while, yes, they couldn't quite defend against Vex in the end, it was a numbers disadvantage and such a hard pull away from what Game of Drones consider home on World's Edge.
Certainly. 2R1C also in the mix for that final early circle. We saw it should put them in a good spot here, and as you can see, top 5 for them. SBS 4th place. Element 6 find themselves in 3rd, right behind Game of Thrones, who we just mentioned picked up those extra 5 points, which would have put them in 5th had they not gotten it. E6 would have been sitting in 2nd, but Vexed Gaming, they have done it. They are 16 points ahead of the pack. If you look at what drug-free did,
They look really good, man.
Yesterday,
You just gotta
they
make
got
sure they can
43
keep getting points.
after
Some
2
on
games. I think they finished with
Stormpoint.
something like 50 points and still got top 3, top 5. It was an incredible day. That just shows you the value of hitting those points early, Dia, especially when you are able to get yourself going.
Because now they can play it slow. They don't have to go for kills. They probably will.
It really does.
Knowing
What I
them,
like
but
about
you don't
Vex
have to,
now,
right?
If you are somebody who's like, hey, I'd like to see them continue at the top of the standings, I'll give you a little bit of hopium, because they started off the day not finding a win. They did very well. They are very good players. They didn't find the win game 1. They didn't find the win game 2. Now they end up doubling their points effectively by finding the win in game 3. And the day has just continued getting better, more consistent for them as they get a read on A versus C. And I don't think that's going to change too much as we go into Stormpoint.
Well, I've got a great surprise here for the broadcast. In our halftime show, we love
Who we
to
talking
bring
to today?
on professional players to give us an idea of what it is like in the game and to give us some analysis we couldn't bring to you on the sidelines here, analyzing, casting, but not in the thick of it ourselves. And that's why we've got a very fun one. Close to home, too, in terms of this lobby. We've got TSM Sabs also playing for Phoenix Legacy,
okay.
an incredible player. Sabs, welcome. Thank you for joining us, and it's so great to have you here for our little halftime show.
Hello, everyone. It's so nice to be around so many amazing people. I'll be honest, I was watching amazing games today. A lot of teams is doing great. I think a lot will change on the next map on Stormpoint. Everyone have different style. Some people are changing their comps.
I wonder if we'll see any
I think that'll be an amazing time.
teams that aren't popping off.
So, Sabs,
So,
I want to
let's
give
look
you
at
an
actually the
idea,
scoreboard
just
here
some runway to talk
while they're
about. Who do
chatting.
you think has performed really well, and who do you think is maybe someone
We're gonna
you're
go to
keeping
spot
your eye on
battle
to
flag 'cause it's
improve,
dark.
who maybe hasn't performed so well to start these first 3 games?
EMEA results.
I think Vex is doing really amazing right now. I think they're thinking about what they're doing wrong. They fixed their mistakes from the yesterday.
Aurora down
I
in
think,
15th,
like, their amazing aggressive playstyle is really working for them.
Interested to see if they have
And
a
I think
bounce
they
back
just
game
need
somewhere.
to sometimes look
I
on
feel like
their
they were a
mini
better
mistakes.
Stormpoint team
Sometimes,
in
you know, you can be a little
split
bit
2, right?
aggressive,
Or split
but
1?
I think overall they're amazing
I think.
in their playstyle. And I'm keeping an eye for J-Links. I think they're an amazing squad. I think they just need a little time. They need to talk through what is going wrong and just fix some stuff. But I think then they'll have time to shine.
Sabs, talk a little bit more about Vex, because you mentioned their aggressive playstyle. What's it like playing against a team that is this aggressive? How hard is it in your shoes to go against
I mean,
a squad
it's
like
gotta
Vex?
make it so you just are
You know,
uncomfortable.
We're playing. My squad is playing early rotate, so usually we don't have that much loot. We're just trying to scan the beacon, get to the zone, hold our position, and if someone that aggressive is coming to our space, it's pretty hard to hold our spot. I will not lie. We really need to play time. We need to play by the time, like, oh, people are gonna come, they're gonna angle them. We just need to hold time, not let them go inside our house, and we just need to play by that.
I mean, it's kind of hard to predict, right? They definitely can make you change your
You just put
strategy.
so much
especially when you're
pressure
trying
down
to
on people,
sit in
man.
the house, feel comfortable, and then income.
We watched that whole
shooting
end
those
game, man.
R99s, the catalyst piercing spikes,
God.
the nades, Matafe and Lucky, Tyler yelling at each other. It is a tough team to fight against. What about you? Because you played yesterday. I want to get your thoughts on just the experience of day 1 and now day 2 here in the Pro League. I thought you guys did phenomenally well. You had some great in-game zones. Talk to me about how it's been playing at the start of this new meta with Season 6 and all of the legend changes. Walk me through what you've been trying to deal with as your team and what you think most of these teams are going through here at the start of a new Pro League.
So I think the biggest change for us was because, like, we're always playing early rotate. I think the beacon change was like the biggest issue for us. We're playing still Crypto, Watson, Balg, and playing from landslide
they probably
is
supply the
incredibly
green
hard.
screens
I will
for
not
the
lie, we sometimes
the
need
broadcast,
to predict the zone
right?
by first
You would
ring,
think.
and there's a lot of RNG in that, and it's like you're sometimes just not able to do that. Sometimes
Just to
we
make
just
it
need
uniform,
to sit on the edge
easy.
or somewhere in the middle of the zone that we can rotate from for free, and just get to the zone after the enemy scan, that we can see everyone in the zone. And it's really hard to see and predict the zone by how people are playing. Not everyone will predict the zone. Some squads might be wrong, and we still need to play by their info. And I think landslide is one of the hardest spots right now to play from in War's Edge.
Now, despite the fact that you're playing at a landslide, like Rain Day said,
now,
you guys
chat,
had some really good
this
end
week
games yesterday.
when we come
multiple
to
top performances, and I was really impressed, especially with your World's Edge play. As you moved on over to,
I think I'm gonna probably take Monday off and then probably do my Power 10
as
Tuesday.
An early zone team, what play styles you feel are being really rewarded on Stormpoint right now?
I think on the Stormpoint, if you're rotating really fast and are
you know what I
careful
mean?
Where we landing, I think we can
So I
do
think I
a
need a
lot
day
from
off
that.
tomorrow.
We made
We've been
the
grinding.
mistake yesterday twice, the same mistake that we didn't learn by the game, that we rotated a little
Those
too
hours
slow,
yesterday were
that
pretty
a
tough.
little pushed us
I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do it with
to be on
APAC
downfall
North
a
once
little
things
from
start
the
up. I'll
War's
probably
Edge,
have to be
and
selective with when
I
we
think that was like the biggest
watch
mistake.
what.
We just need to rotate a little bit faster, be in front of the other teams that are more far away and they're getting faster.
I might have to just not watch EMEA live
need to
for
work
real.
on that, and I think then it will be set.
Because I'm not gonna be able to watch part of it live once
Absolutely.
South America's doing doubles on Saturdays
You've
anyways.
shown such a history of improvement, especially when we start kind of looking into the past here. But I'll tell you what, the future is here and now, and it is present. We're almost on our way to Storm Point, like we said. And I kind of want to get a little bit of your opinion as someone who, you know, does the research and competes yourself. What are the teams that you objectively look out for as we start to address that map?
I think Vex is a lot better on Stormpoint, I will not lie. I think they were doing great already on War's Edge, and I always say that on Stormpoint they're doing so much better. Always. I think every single time they didn't have a bad day on Stormpoint, and I just need to admit that. I think some people might change a little because of their playstyle, how they're playing on Stormpoint too, so they might even fall a little from the top placements. I think E6 is looking great for Stormpoint too.
Go to Walmart.
Well, Sabs, an incredible player, obviously an incredible performance, 10th place, nothing to be upset about starting out the Pro League yesterday, and obviously a great example and leader in women in esports overall. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you in the league, and we appreciate you coming on and giving us your time. Good luck in the rest of the split.
I'm gonna go grab something out of the trunk.
Thank you so much, guys. It was nice to have an interview with you.
Thanks, Sabs. So funny. Sabs came at me with a lot of confidence at LAN. She shook my hand. She said, "Who am I?" And she wouldn't let go. She wouldn't say hi until I said who she was. And I was like, wait. And she's like, oh, you better know my name. Oh, I know her name. And thank you so much, Sabs, again. Vex, all the crew was there as well. So it's always great to see these players in person and now supporting us. Guys, if you want to be a part of this, if you want to have a journey like this, jumping into the Pro League, the Challenger Circuit's available. Registration ends on March 22nd. The tournament begins 3 days later on March 25th. March is a big month for ALGS esports, so get involved, register if you feel like this is your calling. You might be the next person up here getting interviewed. Well, you know, not the next. We got some pros already, but you know, the next, maybe next split or something like that. It's definitely possible. All right, guys, that is such a wrap for our first half of the day. But guess what? That just means the second half is underway. It's time to kick off one of my favorite maps to watch, Stormpoint. And with that action, it heads over to a brand new style of play where maybe Vex continues to find that rhythm, and maybe another team like Aurora bounces back after not being the star-studded squad we expected in the first 3 games. Either way, I'm going to leave it over to Dia and Zephyr to get the cast going and get us ready for Stormpoint.
Zephyr, I'm scared. When Sabs said that Vex get even more terrifying on Stormpoint, I cannot imagine what we are about to see. Match number 4, the first game on Stormpoint for these squads. Let's see what happens.
I'll tell you what, Dia, when we talk about Stormpoint, I'm looking for confidence, especially from some of these rosters who have maybe not had their best foot forward here today. When we look at the likes of teams, say, Ascend, right, who are just on the cusp of even potentially finishing out bottom 10 here. We know for a fact that they themselves are decisive enough to make decisions that count when it comes to a map like this, and so many other rosters share the same fate. But for now, seems like our Mirage à Trois has a bit of a fight.
V2 needing to contest for this up against Kella Gaming, who are again in the position where they've got to contest. This time, however, they do seem to be on the better end of it right now. Gadam's got a swing available, and already Nubicide is down. So numbers advantage favoring Kella for right now, if not the height. Micey on this low ground does end up being able to find some comfort behind these small little loot pills, but Kella are on a timer, and they need to push up to take this fight. Unfortunately, Gadam eats some shots in the back and has to disengage. How do you actually take this engagement, especially now that you've lost Juso? V2 pop up on the high ground and explode into death boxes as Kella take the first contest.
It's a good read from there and a controlled pacing there. They took the time to slow down, especially when you notice they were double cracked at a moment. That could have been a quick slide for V2 to potentially finish the job. But hey, thankfully, they don't go down in 20th. Instead, they're actually out in 19th. It's none other than the team I was just mentioning, Ascend, wiping out Bitfix Gaming and where they like to call home in Barometer.
Not gonna let anybody land with you, especially if you're Ascend. We've all seen, heard Kashera's comms.
Really are
that is not a person that likes to split POIs. I'll tell you that much right now. And with the way that these two contests have gone, I can absolutely see them being repeated. Specifically, Kella and Ascend having the opportunity to really come out on top when it comes to being able to pick up points if you're able to do it consistently. Early rotates, however, were something that Sabs brought up in the mid game, and I'm noting that Vexed were trying to do that just now, taking their own rotation with the Valkyrie, trying to make their way through Antenna.
Whoa, I don't know if anyone else is seeing this, but look at that western side of zone. 5 squads already presenting themselves down by the IMC Armory, and where this next scan of zone will be could potentially be drawing out towards the western end. A very predictable finish, but almost guaranteeing that we might be seeing a fight here.
J-Lang has already sat in their element 6, cleaning up in the meanwhile. And for all that you try and early rotate, element 6 have got you beat. They take out 2R1C and cement themselves in millage. This is an incredible position for E6 to be, as they've got that catalyst, can play zones so much more effectively. And in a position like this, they don't have to move for at least 2 more ring closes.
If it does pull over here, yeah, it can be an effective place to play out of. Personally, though, if we are going to be playing for the western side here, I do like to set priority towards some of those height sightlines. Not quite the hillside that exists directly towards the northeast of Element 6's current position, but I love the rocks out there towards the west. That height
Bro, how much of this game have I missed?
None other than J-Ling's contesting can be so good if our zone pulls
first ring hasn't even closed.
Direction.
They
even got the Trident up
That's
there.
so weird, man. Usually Storm Point's like the opposite of World's Edge on that, you know?
Pylon, there's no way anybody takes this.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good cover up here, and Saps had also talked about how she thinks that J-Lings are actually in a position where they could succeed, just haven't quite put the pieces together yet. A lot of that has to do with where they are positioning themselves on the map, and this being an excellent example of that. Passion going to be second to the rotate, if that is over by Mill. They'll have to take a detour and heal up with a little bit of cover, not wanting to really extend themselves any further and eat a lot of damage at the hands of J-Lings, who certainly know what's going on here.
A bit of a later rotate here, but I know for a fact that the good real estate that exists within the mill should still be available for a team like Passion. It's not the best, given that it does look like we are going to be pulling back in to the position that we see currently contested, but for them, it's a place that they will find safety within. Vex, though,
team's getting scanned by a survey beacon.
I wouldn't say I would be so supportive of underneath the bridge for now.
Ages really well. Love this position for zone teams. Is Vexed? I mean, I know that you said they were trying to play more zone. Didn't see it in World's Edge. Are we seeing it on Storm
to be
Point?
fair, they can kind of coast now.
Vexed roster is trying to show us,
you know?
It's tough to say, but it's going to slow the pace of.
As long as they can be comfortable going from playing more the like harder edge to playing zone, it's a smart move.
There early, it is almost guaranteed that they take little to no fights up until some of those final end games where the forced rotations finally come into play. We might see those drop off of height or those run into that area if this does continue to make its way back towards that bridge, which sometimes, yes, it does. For Vexed, though, if they go out early, say Ascend, SPS, someone comes through from Cenote Cave and it's not a clean fight, they're losing out on not just what usually should be their KP, but that heavy placement that they've worked with so far.
Yeah, there's a lot of risk inherent here. We did get a look at that next zone, and it seems like Vex's position will survive until at least then, but Ascend trying to make sure that Totem do not. They've got this fight evidently in the bag as they take the wide swing in, and Totem bites the dust, but a third party
had a good
incoming,
game
and not
last
a lot
game.
of effective HP means that Ascend lose one
Last
first
2 games, I should say, really. 2/3.
Lufka should be able to heal up on this.
It's Lufka.
Protecting himself from the bang ultimate with meager cover, but it's SPS that get all the loot, and specifically these next 2 kills that came with it.
It's just perfect timing there. We saw them waiting, prowling in Cenote to finish the job, and Ascend, maybe they have something else to say, but no.
But Ascend, they're out in 16th too, so that means they're not going to get any placement points.
Right in front of them there.
I don't think they had any KP, so another 0-point game for Ascend to start things off. That's tough, bro.
To potentially work with out of Cenote, but once again, I readdress rotations south side from this particular angle into that next zone. Remember, it opens up wide. You could play off the ridge line here ahead of the choke of Cenote, but past that, those who are in the IMC Armory, Vexed in that bridge, and anyone in the houses across should have very nice fire.
Well, we're playing things silently out here in Cenote and farming up. The Seed de France are absolutely not sending it onto the low ground.
They don't even give a single F. My goodness.
Drones just lose everyone in less than 15 seconds. That fight took, and an instant reset from Lecite as they take up onto the height once more will mean that there are no third parties that can really take advantage of this very quick fight.
And for Lecite de France, this is some of the best success that they've found all day. I remind people that this is a roster that should be better, right? This is a team that comes off of the back end of playoffs. You might not recognize them because the name has changed, but they used to be that Game Ward roster finishing up in the top 10 of the last EMEA split. And well, yes, this is one of the first iterations that we do get to see them compete here. Their first appearances on World's Edge leaves them with just 4 points overall.
And not something that you would have expected for what is among the top 40 best teams in the world as of a few months ago, but Apex Legends is changing. These new Legend classes have pushed everyone out of their comfort zone and into the point where we're rewarding adaptation in Apex.
Aurora was a team I was thinking of earlier when I said Ascend's been kind of quiet. Aurora's been rather quiet. They need a big game here.
Working on World's Edge, they've swapped it up on Stormpoint and have continued to pick up this
Ash is interesting.
The only team to be running this hyper-aggressive gap closer, and that alongside the Fuse is not a peaceful combo.
Yeah, they're playing really aggressive.
Peaceful, but it leaves me questioning, Dia. Triple assault from this roster. You're losing out on a lot of perspective and some of those extra new passive abilities we talk about from the Revelry changes. You're telling me no zone scan, no potential scan of the players, no extra heals, nothing from a skirmisher. You just simply have the aggressive force that we come to know of Aurora, and at least today hasn't quite been working out, but may present itself. They've done a good job gatekeeping Cenote for now and might be able to pick up the remnants of those kills.
Vexed certainly in danger as well, outside of having the big Watson defense that Vexed have.
Let's see if we got any fights going on.
Them safe from the incredible amount of ordinances that can be tossed in a little bit later on.
Let's not bore with Nightmare.
Na dachu macie jednego z góry.
Dobra.
Ja was coveruję ciągle.
Batno.
Tika da.
Zero leży. Nice. Chodzę. Suba, team low. Ja padłem.
Ja podchodzę.
Podjeżdża cię, Sara.
It's so hard on some of these streams where it's like the volume goes from like barely anything to just loud as shnikes.
Leżę.
of Aurora who take those kills. Speaking of those there,
we were just watching.
Nightmare continuing to fight this one out, but a double knock drop down means it's up to Limek to finish the job. Lecite France should be following through here in just a moment, but for now, might be on a period of, yes, recovery.
And as the last member on the low ground, there's not too much you can do, especially a Seer in a 1 versus 3. This is likely going to be a live for as long as you can style move.
Yep, they see him now.
Comfortable up here on the high ground, knowing they have full control of checkpoint and have earned it in skirmish after skirmish. Their rotation
rolling
is something we'll keep our
Zenote.
eyes on next. But Vexed have found Aurora, and this is not what I'd expected to go down.
Aurora out early again, man.
To aggressive squad, and Ranch is going to be taken down and very quickly looted up. Ash Tether going to connect onto Not Unlucky, and I'm sure he's not used to it. It's not going to cost.
Oh, rest of
too much
Aurora got it
backup
away.
squads.
Okay, never mind, never mind.
Simple ordnance will keep the members of Aurora at bay.
I mean, we talk about the difference between
I don't know why
Ash,
I was thinking
Bangalore,
it said that they were limited.
I
I'm
mean,
an idiot.
great for potentially providing the assault, but when we're talking about trying to find that safety, I mean, there's not much to work with here. And for Aurora, they pay the price almost immediately with that bang being caught out. That's your rotational tool now. You no longer have that available. Yes, the phase can get you a short distance alongside Cleave there, but outside of that, you are stuck, and especially on Storm Point where all these long-winded sight lines. I mean, you can see this one here, almost 200 meters plus that is being provided. I mean, you need that bang.
Vex just setting up a great defense right now. Something that you'll so often see in competitive play in the ALGS is how much these banners are valued and denying the ability to pick
so
up
Vex
this
is in
res.
top 13 now. They've got themselves
game-defining
1 KP.
for Vexed, especially as they try and control Cenote.
They've got themselves a pretty good lead, so they
Nightmare
don't
not
really
going to
need to make a
into
big
the
push
end.
on anything. Let's take a quick look around at some of our other teams real quick. That is Vex. That's triple purple. That's a death box. Jay Ling's rocking the purple, blue. They're kind of in the middle of this next zone. Just inside of Mill there. And they've got some high ground, so they're in a decent spot. There's some other rocks around them that can kind of give away their location, but nothing crazy. Actually, looks like we got a fight going on here with Morning Stars. Let's go ahead and turn back into it.
Hefty
There
damage.
looks like fighting ANC outplay.
Start of fight are providing such good angles onto ANC outplay that they don't actually have to match up against this team that was holding height early. For Shex and Andy Jax immediately forced to back up, and Swinny waiting around the rocks there only means so many squads, of course, with Lecite de France that lie in wait.
I like the fence just to make sure that you can't take the portal as safely anymore, but Morning Stars far from out of the woods. They've still got to move up, take their position in zone, and that's up against the charge rifle from Andy Jax that is slaying right now. We may very well lose another squad if things continue like this, for as a duo, ANC Outplayed provides so much control, enough that they are able to play a part in eliminating a trio. Morning Stars go down before
There's really not much going on in this middle. They're just kind of chilling. While this is going, let's just take a look. E6, purple, gold.
Right, but I'll be honest, Dia, it may not be that much of a surprise. That's a difficult spot to hold there, and there's so many sides of that particular tree sideline that, I mean, so many teams can take advantage of, like start a fight. And
Yeah, they don't have to worry about teams rotating in from circle, and then also teams maybe from behind them who can see
that they might have to take part
where they're at.
They say they can't quite hold it. They have to give up, and instead, as they rotate down, it's a first knock onto Shex, and potentially one more lying in wait.
Jayling's picking up a likely kill off of that, but like you say, Lecite de France terrorizing
ANC outplay out. So now we're in top 10. Teams will start earning a little bit more on those points for placement from here on out.
Can they survive
Lecite de France, though, I don't think they're going to be able to stand this up.
Now YoLo is somehow alive, living on a prayer at the moment, and Aimbot having to do much the same as he walks straight into the fences on the other side of the dark
Passion
veil.
doing the smart thing, though, and they're playing this slow.
They are going up against, and only Passion can get you out of a spot like this. Aurora have been in the dust entirely as FUT remove them and start.
Oh, now Start a Fight's going to come in on the backside here, and you're going to be able to clear this up. They might be able to clean both of these fights, actually.
Wicked Sick rolls up, and it's just as the curtain curtain drops, deleting a
Unfortunate timing on that curtain, bro.
Start a fight, continuing to find a pace to their aggression. Make it Samsung Morningstars, make it Licita France, and potentially now make it Passion. Already with a big read, Blast looks low, the pull back behind the curtains, but they can't quite get away before they face a knock of their own. The missile swarm there from Valkyrie providing the damage, and for start a fight, what is supposed to be this easy pickup of KP with theirs number advantage is now something that they are heavily punished for. Gaiman with that next knock.
Ooh, start a fight's gonna go down here now.
Only Passion could let you survive.
Passion's gonna stay alive here somehow.
Passion is enough, especially squad, to outlast start a fight, to reverse their position where they had no wiggle room against the zone, and now to have one of the few spots where no one.
All right, I want to kind of sit in here real
It's fine, we
quick.
can get to here.
Foot Esports gonna have to move out of the armory.
I know, but like it's fine.
They gotta figure out how they're gonna be able to move into this zone and where they can find some cover at.
I'm heating up right now.
We're gonna have to be full HP so we can get to that fucking corner.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody on the taller rock behind there, so that should be a good spot for him.
I think wall up now, not maybe. Wall up so we can, the team on the right doesn't see us. We have to get that corner now.
Yeah.
Wait for that ult. Wait for that ult. Yeah, you just bang ult. Yes. Throw nades in there. Throw nades in there.
That's gonna at least make sure that they clear up their spot. That's why they want to throw the nades. They're gonna go and also throw ahead the Seer ult. Try and give themselves some information.
We're gonna have to kill them.
They're gonna have to fight over this spot here. 7 teams left.
What?
Oh no.
I'm coming. Play live. Nice. Get in the corner. There's a team on
But
this
now there's
side.
gonna be another team moving in here onto Foot
Coming back.
Esports.
I can't see
Actually,
them.
they're getting pinched here on both sides. Actually,
I can't see them. They're getting fucked by the other team. Behind us.
they gotta worry. They gotta prioritize the team that's closing in.
I think. No, it's the full team.
Oh,
No.
big PK shots. Oh, missed the following 2 shots though. Otherwise, that'd have been big.
Me.
Yeah, I think Foot's out here, chat. Yeah, that's gonna be Foot Esports out. That's Jay Lings that had just moved in there. Oh my goodness. Big elevated angle here for Nags. Can also see the fight over Crossway. Oh, actually, it wasn't Jay Lings was in the first fight. They're actually coming in on that fight that we saw. Element 6 out. They're gonna have to back out here real quick, but they do have some loot boxes here they can check, make sure that they're good on ammo and stuff for this last fight. Passion out here, top 3. I think Jay Lings is probably best off if they want to chill out here. Nags is going to be able to get an armor swap here. Kella Gaming is out. This is going to be the last fight. It's Jay Lings versus Vex. Oh, no. Vex about to go back-to-back. Vex about to go back-to-back. Yep. And there it is, back-to-back for Vex Gaming. Holy cow, man. Zephyr is having a blast on the main desk, dude.
Storm point, make the damage come through from afar. It doesn't matter. Vex pick up their 2nd win of the day.
And it is just as was predicted in our halftime show. Savs called it. Vexed gets stronger on Storm Point. Their change up in style, Zephyr, it caught me off guard. I didn't know whether they'd be able to play zone. But Rain Day, they did so exceptionally.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll be able to play zone. I don't know if they'll get better on Storm Point. I mean, it's kind of up in the air. I think we've all seen that the only thing better than winning is just winning again and on a different map, I guess. That's, I guess, the only better thing. Vex go back-to-back, and they do it in style. They do it against Jay Lings as well. And honestly, it just feels like this team can't be stopped right now, Zephyr. What has gotten into them?
I told you. I said it out there directly. You tried to pull me back a little bit. I said they don't lose, Rain Day, and they have made that clear here on Storm Point. But I love the fact that they are flexible. We bring it up, that zone play, but they kind of get creative with it. They clearly knew where that end game was going to go, but that didn't stop them. We got got to see 2 times how they absorb space. Once against Aurora down to Cenote Cave to clear out their backside and what was necessary
to clear out their what?
And then again, at the very end, I don't know if y'all caught it, but Matafe, the minute Jay Lings dropped down, he is taking height. He is calling out. He is that Eagle's eye for
they do a really good job of like converging in together.
You see it too, Dia. IGLs take that more aggressive role sometimes, but Matafe has kind of been one of the players who likes to sit back and almost anchor IGL.
Vex just builds their lead here.
And other iterations of Vex too. And
Vex can probably just chill out these last couple games. They won't, but if they wanted to, they could. There's your updated scores up there, chat.
Lucky and Tyler getting aggressive, showing off their skills, but also Matafe being able to do what he feels comfortable in, which is IGLing and having a full vision of what's going on in the battlefield.
Yeah, I think that is an interesting adaptation as well. As Zephyr, you pointed out the high ground. We're seeing a lot of IGLs in this split run themselves on Seer because of their access to information, the way that they can call fights. But being on a little bit more of an aggressive Legend, Matafe's got that opportunity to involve himself, and I love that you highlight it, Rain Day, because it is so crucial in the success of this roster, transitioning each player from defensive to offensive.
It's not the same for everybody, too. K-Swinny on the Wraith. Again,
so 2 more games here left. Question becomes who's going to be able to make the fight for second, because I think first is pretty well.
Also, walking through the highlights of match number 4 on Stormpoint, what shifted?
Done. We got E6.
What maybe seemed to go the way
Game of Drones, both tied in second.
I'll tell you what.
Oh no, that's 37 then 32. I can't read.
Some of the faltering, we didn't quite catch it in that replay.
I mean, honestly, really.
Down in that fight in particular, after what was supposed to be their early
down to
reads
6
for the zone to
so the fight, I'd even say with 2 games left, even down to like 10th, 11th.
Quite find their own success, and obviously
still a lot of game left.
Similar fates here,
when you have a team like Vex who's taking a lot of points,
rosters who have highlighted
means there's less points being distributed across the lobby elsewhere.
6 day in a Vex game from Group A and Group C respectively.
Yeah, those 2 teams kind of separating themselves amongst the pack right now. Surprised, and I think many people watching at home are, that Aurora has had such a quiet day. Passion, though, Dia, you mentioned only Passion can get you out of this moment. It got them out of that moment for a little bit, and then they went right back into it. The story is slowly but surely shifting back towards the Stars, the back-to-back winners, Vex, who had this outer play to just walk into most of these in-game fights.
Yeah, both of our end game squads, I mean, playing this really well. Passion, we called it out in the moment, but great killer instinct to understand the effect that they could have on other squads, and Jaylings doing exactly the same thing, noticing from the high ground that with one squad below them rotating in, why not? Why not follow it up? No one else is coming in behind us. We can see everything from this rock, and it gets them a nice, nifty second place finish.
And you know what? Vex Gaming get the W. Really a good, in my mind, kind of showcase of how well they're playing, because this isn't that run through the lobby W where you have 12 to 15 kills and you're near 30 points. It's a solid 6 kill, good placement, good team fight, great approach, timing. 12 placement point, 6 kill game, and that is to me a sign that Vex are really feeling it right now. Jay Lings in second with 15, Kella Gaming in third with 13 points, Element 6 actually.
So that was a big game for both Jaylings and Killa. I don't think they had very big games before that, right?
As we head into the back half of this as well, our bottom 10.
Yeah, both of them have had rather quiet days.
Morning Stars, a team that wants to keep performing well. They were 12th yesterday. Can they do a little bit better? Add some more points to the tally for playoffs. Ascend 6 points off a 16th place. Clearly getting some fights in, clearly playing a little aggressive, but it must have been at that final fight. Didn't quite work out for them, so they don't get any placement points there. Overall, in the series standings, Dia, it is real clear who is at the top. 64 points. Not quite double, but it's getting close to the second place team, Element 6. SAF Esports, Game of Drones, SPS rounding out the top 5.
It's interesting to note those names as well because of the drastic shift that we've seen, especially from Game of Drones moving into our first game on Stormpoint. They took a big downturn in the standings, and as we're already starting to note, rotations aren't necessarily where this squad has it in the bag, especially when you've got to go quite far. Something that hopefully they'll be able to address in their following 2 games. But for squads like Element 6, they've had their moments today, for sure. I'm struggling to see where they are getting all of these points. They are doing, yes, very well.
Dude,
but what is
chat.
happening? How are they in second already?
Sneaky. They're sneaky, man. They're just playing well, and this is what I loved about Noises and JMW and Graceful. It didn't work out in terms of that.
I mean,
Graceful's added 2K.
I feel like Element 6 has just been quiet because they don't get very many kills, but they haven't finished lower than 8.
So maybe it's not working from a zone position to outplay Vex in the final
13
circle,
kills
but
through
they're
4
getting
games.
kills.
I mean,
they've always been good at getting kills.
good, but it's not like they're fragging, right?
We'll see if they can continue to push for first place. And stuff, though, a lot of teams needing to show up, but guess what? We've got 2 more games in our match day 2 of the ALGS coming at you. We'll see who can keep it going and who might be starting their engines late. We'll find out right after this break. WD Black, the official
Knock below them, they just had to worry about the team that's across. Nice. Oh my goodness gracious. Make him go night-night. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Hey, and that's going to help them walk away with the first. Hey, chat. If we have anybody in here that's following your boy on Twitter, I need y'all to help me out on this next tweet.
Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the Apex Legends Global Series.
Oh no!
Into our next game of the day. It's going to be our 5th and Zephyr, you know I love this word, penultimate game. So, as we come up on that, these teams have the last 2 opportunities to put points on the board for, especially those in Group C, their first debut in ALGS Split 2.
I'll tell you what, I almost feel bad. I feel like I'm the bearer of success of Vexed. I shill for this team too hard sometimes, but I'm happy to do it for others as well. My DMs are in fact open, but I gotta say, it's such a shame because E6 have been having a phenomenal day by so many standards, right? This is a team that has bred consistency throughout literally our last 4 matches, and just the fact that they haven't walked away with a win is why they're, like we kind of said, sneakily flying under that radar.
Certainly is. Ascend, early contest, however, are going to have to take this fight.
So Ascend's down here, barometer. Bro, is Ascend going down early again?
Time, but now Bitfix are striking back. Kashera is low. Postkill takes to the height, but needs to buy time for Kashera to get back into the fight, to heal up and be ready to go. We're going to lose a team now, Zephyr. I just don't know which one.
This is a critical moment for Ascend right now. You know you can't go potentially for that revive on Lufka. A block on the zip line, and oh, the seer scan just barely misses for Bitfix. Separated. They're not even nearby.
What are they? How are they not there? I'm looking at this fight going, surely everyone is right on top of you, but no. And it's a full reset for both squads. I do not imagine that Ascend are going to take kindly to this, however. As we get this reset, Bitfix have got to do their looting now, because if you are still in this POI, by the time that Ascend is ready, you're going to fight whether you like it or not.
And this could be just a massively crucial mistake in potentially their game plan. We'll have to check in later. For now, it seems like Kella Gaming once again with their fight here against V2. They found success in our last game, and with this drop onto Izdan, what looks to be running for the hills of Gale Station, potentially another
Two members now taken down. V2 in shambles, but still technically alive. And Kella, fortunately enough, have other things to do. The rest of Fish Farms is still available to loot, and an early rotate will do them a lot of good. So getting back to it and farming up what they can before they move into the next zone will give V2 another chance at life, perhaps even an opportunity to pick up the res.
Sadly,
RIP, it will not.
Yeah, I was gonna say sadly. As we check in with this death box, not Aurora right there on the cusp, that edge to pick up what is clearly an easy life after a lot of damage provided there from Kella. The question is, how stable are they? Do they want to pursue potentially into Fish Farms? I would not assume so, and it's going to highly depend on where the zone presents itself. But my gosh, out here towards the west may be where it's at, because 2R1C outplayed J-Lings. They're all here to play.
When we suddenly cut to a shot of 4 squads holding buildings right next to each other in zone 1, you have to imagine that's where they're predicting that the zone is going to end. That or it's party time, and I don't see no Mirage à Trois. 2R1C have an excellent building. I will say, however, with a lot of sight lines on it. While this may very well be center zone, this is far from a riskless position.
Start a fight here. Also caught in the middle of all of this. They haven't found themselves a position in one of those buildings that we mentioned, but are instead in the choke. And notably, they've got Locky back on the coverage right now, making sure that no one comes through from checkpoint. But if I had to pick a team that potentially would go out first, it might be them. Speaking of Ascend, though, we've waited, we've bided our time here. This is the team we know have found themselves into a place of very successful resources, and we'll take it toe-to-toe against Bitfix again.
Yeah, we said they weren't going to take kindly to you encroaching on their POI, and yet they do it again. Can Bitfix fight back? They did get a lot of loot in the time that Ascend had to reset and then run down at them, but it doesn't look like that's going to matter too much, as already Kashera has found that next knock, and Ascend take control of this POI of their own.
Looking to finish off the last two members here between Zerifer and Trix. They found one, and into the second floor, they'll just happily pick up the final flesh that guarantees their end. A defense of a POI, albeit delayed in action.
If I'm Bitfix, I am not landing Barometer again. That is not fun. It is not effective either in the grand scheme of things. Bitfix are not a team that has been doing poorly, and yet when contrasted with the way that Ascend have fought so easily with the best teams in Apex Legends for years, there's just no contest.
I have to say, for Ascend here, albeit we are in a similar situation where we haven't been able to catch their brightest moments today, I mean, you could see the point scoring right there in front of you. In fourth with 31, are clearly in a position to catch up at any given moment. And while they haven't been on their best foot regarding some of these end games, we're quite literally just one moment. And that's what I love. This is what separates the weakest and the strongest in the pack. You don't need to have highlights, stand out, massive 18, 20-point kill
see if we got any other fights going on.
Come through with the wins that you need on the day of.
I've been kind of zombie in here this last game. My bad.
Put it up when it counts.
That's something that they're very good at doing, and that a lot of our top teams in EMEA have been able to replicate.
We're watching a. We're watching an armory.
Right now, but it's not good. Phoenix get for knives or not?
Dude, who is doing that?
Really upset with myself now. Because now I've done this twice.
Shit.
Maybe I move the car. Put it in here.
Move the car.
Yeah, move it.
We're gonna use this, Jim. Holy fuck, dude.
Now they gotta try and get out of here. Are they gonna be able to find safety? Oh, there's a. Oh, they're so screwed, bro.
We're safe, we're safe.
I don't know, I'm gonna die here.
On me's good, on me's good.
Let me help you.
A tough spot here. They gonna be able to get out of this?
Come to me. Heal.
Trying. I'm not going.
Jen, yes. Jen anyway. I'm gonna res. Fuck. Fine.
Are there any other fights going on? Is this the only thing that we got going on?
That was from tunnel. I need to
Yeah, let's see if they get. Wait.
Oh,
Oh, I went to the wrong thing. My bad, Jen. I'm like, this is totally not who I was trying to watch.
Tell me. I'm showing him. Showing him. Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, I got a bomb. I didn't want like 50. This is so scuffed, boys.
Yeah, they're kind of in a tough situation because they know they got the one team looking behind them, like kind of down the actual. Oh, now there's a second angle coming in too. Oh, Prue, they're so fucked. Yep.
How is he playing out there? He's come to me now, so I think you better.
Oh yeah, they're.
Yep, right here. Nice smoke. Oh, Jen broken.
Sorry, it allows them to get the res off. I think they're just gonna be chilling here for a bit. Let's go and see what they're watching in on the main broadcast chat.
Haven't quite found any necessary active motion to present that next best fight forward, but it does give us a nice read of that zone. We might be catering towards that open-ended finish west of Jurassic Park, Dia. You know the one.
They're just raw running up this hill right now. No consideration for who might be on the other side. The smoke's gonna have to be enough, and that is the reckless abandon that we've seen SPS approach fights with. It's what's won them a lot of separate engagements as well. It's just their willingness to say land in a suboptimal position and push your building. Not something that a lot of teams trust themselves to have the mechanical ability to do. Something that we're seeing even now play out on the high ground as Ascend bully Kella just a little bit and then pass on by, retreating into Barometer and likely into the next zone. Kella are sure to be tanking a bit of zone damage as they make their own way in.
And this is a crucial moment for Kella, right? We talk about this next rotation, and Aurora's blocking what will be your take into Jurassic, which that will decide your endgame right here and right now, whether you take this path forward through Antenna or you're forced to wrap all the way back through Barometer. You're losing out on crucial height.
Oh shit, I didn't want to hit that. I want to hit this. See if we can see anybody fighting. There is. Let's go ahead and jump on board over here. This is going to be Nightmare. They're going to be outside of this zone.
Jeszcze nie. Mówię, jak będzie 20 do zamknięcia jakoś. Gdzie oni pójdą? Oni tu pójdą. Możemy ich zabić później.
And then there's no name area kind of out, in between Command Center, Cascade Falls, and the wall.
Tylko uważajcie, żeby ja teraz to walę.
Może poczekać jeszcze sekundę.
Questions, are they going to be able to buy themselves space? It looks like they're...
Jaką postać mieli? Katalist. Tam sam na mnie.
Alright. So they got a scan.
Chilluj na razie.
Tak, chill.
Nie, na close już są.
So that's one of those, like, the value, right? To be able to get that while you're rotating in. The only problem is they knew that somebody scanned them this way, so I'm kind of surprised that they ran into Nightmare. But, like, it is what it is, you know what I mean?
Oni też zultowali.
Nad nami, możemy walnąć go?
Tak, dawaj go.
Do prawej, oni będą uciekać.
Podchodzę to. Uciekają na mnie. Banka zero knock. Krak, stuba. Biepcie się to. Ostatni.
Nightmare should be able to pull this off.
Zabij mi go.
Last one. 7 in a 1v1. There they are. That's Vex Gaming eliminated, actually.
Cofnij do tyłu.
Aurora's in a fight outside of this zone here. They're gonna have quite a rotate in, actually. Use low latency. Low latency is on. Why are you gonna give me a hint when I'm already using it?
Ну они все отдали. Да нет. Бля, ладно, не разъебем, значит не наш день. Все, до пизды, еще не до пизды, не похуй. Да. Прямо дверь даю. 50. Я дал 10. Блять, подошел, пушку даю на дверь. Дал пушку на дверь. Раз тут катушка.
Метки или надо. Дал нейт. Убивает сама. Тоже метки. Все, я фуловый. Тут файт. Вот фулл уходит, наверное.
So Aurora's not having anybody out here. It's funny enough. That's what they're watching right there. God, I love being ahead of the curve.
Я не понимаю, что они здесь все стоят. Честное слово, смотрите, кто-то не торопите спину.
Looks like Element 6 is shooting someone across the way here.
Yeah, I think so. Oh yeah, there is.
Yeah, they just come out here as well. A team just come out of this side of Jurassic. Okay.
So that's actually them.
They're coming down. They're gonna fight us, bro.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I know.
They're gonna fight us, bro. It's fine. Yeah, I know. I just don't want to deal with it, bro.
One's on the
Oh shit.
Yep. We might do a portal.
It's fine. They're gonna go on the right. Yeah. Headshot crack again, the last one.
Yeah.
Nice. We just have to walk in, just keep that. Even if we die for KP, it's fine, okay?
Okay.
We need that 3 KP here.
We need to turn his mic down.
Close, walking up close.
Oh, I got.
SPS is in a fight. I don't know whose cam this is supposed to be over here. But we'll take it. SPS about to be going down though. I don't know who's taking them down. That's unfortunate.
Connect and does just for
Aurora's pushing forward
as they get to take this gravity cannon, knowing that you've got a squad locked in.
That's pushing. That's them pushing into E6 here.
So much more work, so much more effective zoning, and with the dark veil out, Aurora are split. SPS go down. Their early
send the knuckle busters.
Not paying off in the way that they had hoped, but Aurora haven't been able to take this fight either, and are going to be in an even worse position out in the open as Swinny swings around the sides, trying to reverse the fight for them. Morning Stars go down, and we're into the top 15. Placement points have started being accumulated before this fight is over, and Element 6 are running straight into another team.
Caught with their back against the wall here, Aurora finds that first knock at the hands of their Rolling Thunder, and it's the Ash phase that actually allows them to present that much further forward. But immediately, as they make their way into this next zone, we talk about so many of these rosters who have been here. Gaiman, Rondon, and crew from Game of Thrones who have been holding
got that high ground up here. That's a really good spot.
Immediately able to lay in the damage. And I love this from Hardeki. Finish
nice
the
angle
job while you can. You know you have that advantage. You know
Aurora
you have
out.
these sight lines, and you know you can
again out early for Aurora. That's
Aurora
tough, bro.
Gone with nothing they could do.
Unfortunate. Let's take a quick look on the board with the Send. Looks like they're in a fight. They got a triple purple rocking over here.
I need one accelerant.
Stay healthy, boys. Stay healthy. I need I'm popping about. Where the fuck is accelerant, man? I have one. Take mine. Fuck it. Give to Lufka. You don't need.
Ultimate accelerant here.
Bro, like there's 100 boxes. Like there's no way there's no accelerant. Anyone needs Luigi?
Yeah, I need it.
Got a team right up above him here.
Take it, Lufka.
Optics here. Close range.
Vitalization of Nightmare and where it finally
So Foot Esports gonna go out
from Vexed onto FUT. This is something I want to point out. Playing from the north side, they are quickly
They do still have to rotate a little bit in here. They've got themselves a couple KP, but they're top 10. It's been a relatively quiet day for Nightmare.
Further back up
and by relatively quiet,
from the buildings,
I mean they were dead last going into this game.
Little bit of height that you
so good game going for them now. They're top 10. First time in the top 10 all day.
Come into play here for Nightmare if they can continue to keep pace and tempo how we've seen.
I love that.
I kind of want to see a Send on this rotation. It's a late Valk ult, so more than likely they're going to have a hard time finding space.
My ping is good. I need to pop up. Oh, we need.
It's safe on me.
I think we have to send for this team on the right. I'm popping up.
I think they need to try and push on the left. Yeah, they want to clean up this fight, but they need to make sure that they don't expose themselves to that team on the left. Nice, pushing in. That's beautiful.
We don't need to push, we need to run out. I cracked one, here on the rock,
The gun top is low.
Told you I needed to focus up on this team. On the left! Push up there. He's cracked. They should be able to win this fight. Or ascend. Nice.
Or maybe not.
I'm looking.
Let me go to the rock. Let me go to the rock. Red me on the rock.
I'm medding.
I swapped the shield. Very good.
Nice.
After the man, take space, Lufka. Take space.
Yeah.
I kind of want to stay on board with them here to see how they handle this out, chat. I don't even want to go back to the main broadcast.
Fighting on the big building.
Yeah.
We need to hold the right side. We cannot let anyone play on the right side.
I'm looking
Buffalo is range. No ultimate accelerator, right?
No.
Wait, brawler.
Shoot this here, low.
All right, they're going to be able to loot up here. You got quite a bit of KP, obviously. Kashera here has 6 in their own right. They're the lobby leader. Top 5. Ascend was in 6th heading into this. I don't know if they'll be able to catch Vex. Vex did have a very early elimination, so I mean, if they continue popping off, they could put themselves on the back of Vex in the scoreboard and apply pressure. They're probably the only one that has a chance right now, though. Yeah, because Guard Fight's gone. Game of Drones went out early too, right? Unless Element 6 is still left, maybe.
And full stand on the team on the right. Play wall now.
Oh, Game of Drones is actually still in this fight.
More to the right. It's fine, Valkulti. It's fine, Valkulti. They might Valkult here, just nade behind the rock.
Nate's on the box. Nate's on my box.
I already have 3 arcs. Behind us.
There they go. So Kashera called that out perfect. Knew exactly where they could potentially have an opening behind them. And they were able to be ready for it.
Play on cash. They have to come to us. Play on cash. They have to come to us. One is knocked. We got time. They have to come to us. Chill.
They're top 4 here now. Nice shots.
One flash.
I don't see anything.
Oh, now we're starting to get the sound delay, bro. Come on.
I can't. Yeah, you're right. Just play safe.
It's all right. Top 3 here. Oh, okay. They got a team right above them, though. Oh, he dropped down.
Can we push top?
Wow.
Yeah, we have to. Full heal. Chill.
I
Don't let them swing. I'm popping. Guys, can we put some pressure here? Bro, that team should have died. Holy fuck. I need light more. No nades. I wasted all my nades. Can we put some pressure on the top? Yeah? Can we put some pressure? And they're playing on the roof or what? Yeah, they are. They are on the roof. All roof.
All right, looks like our sound's back on.
Take this roof. Guys, I'm gonna
close. I need to pop up.
Just
Chill. You just have to sight on the one. Woo!
I'm popping about. Gonna cover me.
Yeah.
They can take this high ground here. If they can push up with Kashera, this is huge.
I don't know what the other team if they're all or whatever the fuck.
Because they have ultimate high grounds here now.
Someone inside.
Stick together on the roof.
So now they've got this high ground. They can set up shop. This circle, remember, it ends up just in front of this building.
I'm putting cover on the roof.
Which means they don't have to fall off this high ground for a very, very long time. I don't know if there's a team inside.
When I took a risk.
I can. Give it. Take it. I have 2 DTs if you guys need. You need cash? Where the fuck is the other team? They're probably playing below where we were.
7 players left, so it's a team and a solo.
Probably.
Nice, they're able to get a couple feet.
Where is the seat? The seat is under, probably. Just play space, boys. Just play space.
It's gonna get crazy here at the end because they're gonna both basically have to come out of this door and off the roof basically at the same time.
Still swinging.
If they wanted to, they could probably put fences outside the door. I'm kind of surprised they don't, honestly.
Your job is to defense this shit 24/7. I'm gonna have my ulti now.
Why don't they put it down on the actual low side though, where they're gonna come out of that door? Because they're gonna have to. Yeah, there you go. Okay. I'm gonna say because they're gonna eventually have to come out of that door.
Yeah, just slide down the late and post. Keep fencing. Don't stop fencing.
Where do we slide? On my ping?
Yeah. Just deeper. They drop down. One. Keep fencing. Keep fencing.
144.
Oh, big share. Okay, Kashera's got one.
Behind the water. There's one inside the house.
I got one, son.
There's one below with me.
That's gonna be the last fight. They gotta get in the storm. Oh no! Oh. Wait, was that a solo? Was that a solo that pulled that off?
What?
Oh, the duo. Okay.
What? 2R1C. Excellent control of that end game. And up against Ascend as well. Were you losing your mind, Rain Day?
Oh man, I'm glad I was muted because you might have heard some things that you didn't need to hear live. I was freaking out. At least
I thought
mentally
Ascend
for
was gonna
sure.
win that.
That was an incredible fight.
I'm
It's
really
so cool
surprised
to
they
see
didn't.
it and hear it from the side of Ascend and Kashera trying to navigate that pesky squad 2R1C who would not go down. It was just a matter of a solo and the two inside, but it made it difficult enough, and maybe a mistake there, dropping full low ground, getting taken down by the zone, getting a little aggressive when the whole point of that was chill. But I gotta say, Zephyr, I thought Ascend had that in the bag, but again, it goes and bodes well for 2R1C and how they have performed today.
Absolutely. The last time we saw them perform in this likeness was, well, at the very start of our matches here in EMEA's Day 2. Obviously, to see them reappear once again is a treat, but just behind
what an
them
ending,
as well,
chat.
Game of Drones also shoring up a similar weakness after they, like we kind of started to mention, were starting to slip a bit on that scoreboard there.
Talk to me, Dia, too, about 2R1C, Game of Drones, having the days they're having today. Game of Drones, last match day, just yesterday, 19th place. Wow. Now they're nearing second and third. 2R1C in the exact same position. Talk to me a little bit about how these two teams have shown up in match day 2.
You know, it's really funny that because I think that the ways that they find success are very different. 2R1C do an excellent job of predicting the zone. So when Uchako gets it, when they all rotate into where that zone is going to end, man, do they look good. And while I would typically have said that for Game of Drones previously,
all right, chat, I'm gonna use the
being
restroom,
one of
refill
our
my water.
teams from the days gone
I'm
by,
monster away for now.
Now we're seeing Rondon and the squad really specialize in this sort of mid-zone play. They get themselves into a nice position in ring 1, maybe ring 2, but then their specialty really becomes how to take rotations that don't put them in the sightlines of other squads. We saw so many teams fall to Ascend just because they were in their line of sight, and Game of Thrones don't do that, and that's the most special thing about that roster right now.
Well, let's take a look at that final circle, because there's a final circle that Ascend would like to have back, and it was about, I guess, a month and 6 days ago in London. This final circle, they're definitely going to look at ways to improve too. Zephyr, is this just the case with Ascend? I mean, such a great, consistent team. They win a lot of these, but sometimes maybe could perform better here. What do you think happened as we take a look at this final moment for Ascend?
Well, right off the bat here, it's a bit of chaos regarding the remnants of this third roster, which happens to be Game of Drones, and calling out their positioning up until what they exist as underneath Rondon solo took a long time for Ascend, right? And then on top of that, the coverage as post-kill tries, you can't match Fed's cooldown, but the most important moment here, and you're gonna see in a moment, is a single ordnance, a single frag right on the edge, a cataclysmic blast that sends Kashera back down when he wasn't going to drop at all. That would have put 2 people up on height to respond to our 1C.
That's a great point. It looked like Kashera almost was looking for it because he was aware. The call was he was down below, but it was the grenade that forced him down. So maybe just not much you could do about that. A little bit of an unlucky draw. Ascendo still leaders in terms of overall points. 13 kills will do that with a second place finish. 2R1C, the winners of that game, clutching it out. 18 points there. Game of Drones, 19 in third place overall. Diamond Gladiators having a nice performance here in fourth, getting 8 points on the board. Nightmare Esports also notable in our top 10 as we head to our back half of this lobby. Teams we have seen again and again in this 11 through 20. Aurora, V2, Bitfix Gaming, SPS at times, Morning Stars, trying to see if this will change. Not too much time to change it though. Vexed, a surprising visit down to the bottom 10, but I don't think they'll be there for long, and certainly still in a very good position to win this overall. As we take a look at our series results, it's pretty clear this is anybody's game if Ascend and Game of Drones get themselves in a position like they were before.
Ascend,
and Vex do
able
not
to get up in a
perform.
second.
Vex still out in the lead by 14 though. So what a moment we have coming up in game number 6.
Ascend.
I know that
doesn't
you'll have a lot to
need a
say,
big
Dia
game?
and Zephyr, about this, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a break right now to get ready. Let us all catch our breaths because there's one more game left on Storm Point to close out EMEA's match day number 2. Will Game of Drones have a chance to get back to that final circle and make amends to claim day number one for them? Or will it be Vex to show up as unstoppable as they have been throughout the first 5? We'll all find out the answer right after this.
Looks like the DDoS problems are getting worse in DVD, huh? You hate to see.
WD Black, the official storage partner of the Apex Legends Global Series.
It's game number 6 time, and it is the
Let's go,
last
baby.
time
Game 6.
that we will see these 50-50s on Storm Point. Ascend, once again, landing themselves right next to Bitfix.
Reminder, at the end of the game, I'll be cutting it short so I can take a break from the lights before
Feels like a tale as old as time, and
NA starts.
It's only happened twice this game. At this point, though, damage found for Kella already right off the bat.
Bro,
might be what they need to get this one going, but I can't imagine either of these teams have enough loot to go for a fight.
I mean, this is what we've been seeing at Mirage Etoile, right?
There
Like,
needs to be so much damage put down.
we saw the
for you
same
to
thing
feel
in NA
comfortable
yesterday.
Making this push, but the Sentinel might be the thing that swings the tide of battle. A headshot on that is essentially a player down. So watch yourselves, because Kella are looking for these angles, and now they've got height and control of the Mirage Etoile. You cannot overextend here.
Oh, no.
Yeezy goes down, and now Kella, albeit still with height, are fighting a losing battle. V2 have all 3 members up, and we're gonna see them take this contest by storm.
No idea in response to how they set that one up, but it felt like they just popped out of nowhere to finish the job. A fantastic decision by V2, because for a second there, I was almost about to say, probably drop down, playing the rest of Fish Farms. They just want to take the best that they can for their last game on their way home. Instead, out from the cracks and crevices to find their success.
That was such a nice way to turn it around, and it's again one of those 3v3s that doesn't go on quite long enough for Aurora to come in for the 3rd party. But you see that rotation from them, looking for it, hoping that they can get that next move on the third party. It will, however, bring them all the closer to zone that seems to be pulling us over towards a launch pad where several squads are already starting to pile in.
Yeah, we might
Bitfix had like the one decent game, man, and then like they've kind of been quiet. That's tough.
I have to. Who lands Launchpad? What incredible squad potentially at the top of the leaderboard right now lands there?
That's Ascend, baby. That is. No, is it not Ascend? Ascend used to land Launchpad.
Ascend and Barometer.
Is it Vexed now?
Yes.
It's Vexed.
Oh no. Yes, Vexed. My gosh, what are we doing? All right.
Imagine if it wasn't actually Vexed.
That's why you don't ask me questions on broadcast.
I'm sorry. My love for you still remains.
I was thinking of Ascend because I was thinking of the fact that they're fighting Bitfix.
That's fair. It's okay. Surprisingly, this time around, you bring it up, it hasn't happened. Right, this is one of the few moments that, surprisingly, while yes, Postkill and Lufka are still back on the crafter, you know, trying to get themselves sustained, they have actually pulled more towards the north side to maybe cater towards that rotation. I can only expect Bitfix to just hightail it out of there.
I don't even know if that's going to be enough, though, and that was my big problem with them landing right next to Ascend in Barometer.
All right, now I kind of want to sit on with Vex if they're actually going to be fighting over here.
Or let's go tower. I'm doing here.
Okay, so there's going to be a EMP drone coming.
I'm going in. Let's go up.
They're going to try and get back up to the high ground here.
So many teams all of a sudden here.
Dropping a Phoenix here.
I'm just going to I'm lucky, no one...
OP usually stances, no? This tower.
Nah, they do it early. I think that was them already going to the left to high ground and then sliding down.
Yeah, just play here, I guess.
So no one's actually fighting here now. They're just going to back down.
And that's why, you know, even though they present themselves, they have to pull back so quickly because of all of that damage. It still is working for them, though, right? I do believe that this is going to slightly work its way away from that central position for Vexed here, but it sustains past your rounds 1, 2, 3 here. I mean, you are in the zone in comparison to, say, hey, Ascend, who are out there by Barometer. Any bad 3v3, one bad rotation, do ya?
Aurora, man.
Certainly could happen to anyone.
Out of the top 10.
Caught out by unfortunate circumstances more than they'd care to admit in today's games, but for the moment they've once again opted into this antenna move, and it's got them relatively safe for now, albeit they have got a squad coming up right behind them. But for things like a Fuse and an Ash, holding these small corridors that push into antenna should be...
Oh, hold on here. Is Foot in a fight? Oh no, they just had a team that Valgolded away from them.
They're landing on the top or bottom?
Let's see if they end up having to fight them off on the way in, potentially.
Or if they turn around here. I don't scan anything.
It might be just trying to hold us out from buildings.
That's fine.
Still in storm. There was C-Note caves still. They were killing dogs when we scanned.
Okay, yeah, nice, good call. They're in this building.
Yeah, I think they're gonna.
Nothing so far. We're gonna go ahead.
Let's walk back. We're walking this side, okay?
See E6 over here.
Yeah.
See what they got going on. Purple, blue. I thought they had someone potentially pushing up on them. It doesn't look like it. No? Yeah, they got a team right up underneath them. The question is, do you want to invest the time in right down here, right?
Try to look for a knockdown. Not, really not. What, I hit one like...
B1!
We should fight this. Can we EMP? I'm gonna EMP.
I'm dropping then. Yeah, EMP.
Go fight.
So the EMP is going to help with the fences. They can push through here now. It's huge. Oh, there's a...
I've beamed them all. I'm pushing. Knock one.
Above.
Nice. And that's going to be J-Ling's out.
Nice.
Very well done by E6. Really well done. Is Vex fighting over here on North Pad or no?
Sam is probably running on down the edge right now. Maybe you see the momentum.
I wonder what Gamer Jones are doing.
Doesn't look like it.
Engagement.
Aurora's in a fight?
Just stay here and
no,
hide.
Ascend? That's Ascend.
Stay here and hide.
I thought we had Aurora. I do have Aurora.
До сих пор синий армор на крыше.
Да, я додаю нейт.
Я через 3 секунды сюричу попробую.
Давай, они там же стоят.
Гейл 10.
Дай сюричу.
15 секунд, хуйни.
Горит, давайте,
Дал
давайте.
50, дал 50.
Пойдем, Малик?
Иду.
На второй залезай.
All right, Aurora's gonna go and try and push in here. I don't think they have much as far as info if
А есть что-то кинуть?
Да.
there's much damage on them. I think this team must be on their roof. They're in the sky. Nade team's dropping down. Oh, this is bad.
Торопись, с другой стороны могут пикнуть, Моя ульта.
You don't have anything to be able to help as far as in the doors. You don't have a catalyst. You don't have a caustic.
С первого этажа.
They've been able to at least get the bats off.
Пиздец, еще. А это надо инсайд, еще, пожалуйста, не умирай.
Я не могу. Ты подал, живу.
Я резаю, но
Whoa. Okay.
Просто подойди ко мне,
I see you, Cleve.
Хорошо, живу. У тебя на второй этаж лезут, с другой стороны.
And now they got up to a full 3 here for Aurora.
Упали в первый этаж.
Oh! They didn't get the knock though.
Кракнула крыша. ХП кто-то.
They gotta get this. They gotta get the reset here, man. Oh, dude, they're in a lot of trouble.
Отжимайтесь наверх.
Needs. They gotta try and get to this. Oh, there's already someone on the roof.
Меня закрыли.
Oh, dude, Cleve's so screwed here.
Одно КП. Почему мы не вместе? Я отсосал как мог.
Cleve's in a really bad spot here, man. Now a solo. Another team might be rotating in though and helping them out, it looks like. Potentially. I can't tell if it's... No, it's not Nightmare. They're in a different part of the map. You got at least one banner. That's the good news.
Home. Somehow, some way, maybe banners are recovered, maybe a revive in store. It looks like Aurora will continue to exist, and, well, for start a fight, not quite them.
Unfortunate for them. It does not feel good to be taken down as a sole Valkyrie in the sky, but when you're starting the journey at Flesh, you know where it's going. We hyped up Ascend earlier for pushing over onto this engagement, and now they are making their presence really felt up close. Double swing onto these stairs. No knock.
Is that V2 they're pushing here, right?
Ascend, but they own the high ground for now. Kashera dropping down to try and find an angle. Does get the backup from
just let the Mastiff slap.
Oh, no. But they are on their last legs as 2R1C rock up and now may take the fight themselves. Kashera's not going to have the time to be rezzed. Lufka will be lucky to get out of this alive as he takes to the high ground, and 2R1C are looking for the 5 kills all present in this building.
Man.
And yet, for Ascend, they don't know it, but they have been the bane of their existence here on Storm Point, taking away what should have been a classic win, and now wiping out Kashera, your IGL, your rotational tool, as that Bangalore on
see if we got anybody
here. The building is in place.
Fighting. We've got Aurora holding off over here at Antenna. You got one left, but unfortunately Ranch is gonna have to they're gonna have to play this as a duo. It's gonna be Ranch's where's my Aurora? Or not Aurora, where's my Ascend? I thought I had an Ascend, don't I?
Rough call to make.
I guess not. Oh, it's because Ascend just went down.
Great
Never mind.
position for 2R1C.
That's tough for Ascend too. They were trying to see if they could push up into confirm their second place, maybe get into first.
For comfort. Does draw that
means Game of Drones more than likely should be able to secure up the second place, unless 2R1C happens to do otherwise.
This is tough, though. We know
remember they were in fourth.
There are other squads that have presented themselves right behind 2R1C just a moment ago.
Oh, they tried the rat spot.
More than alive coming out of Antenna there, and they're giving away a lot of access. And
oh, they were shooting spiders. I thought they were actually shooting somebody. I got you baited, chat.
Yeah.
Damn, no gen, nothing. How much nade we have?
2 arcs.
Okay.
Absolutely jebaited. Launch pad over
Give me
here.
the arc. You should give me all the nades. Give me the arc.
Right.
I don't think I can go.
No. I'm saying Winnie only. Because
This team is going down there.
into fingers, yeah.
Yeah, they're going
No,
down.
top team is looking as well. Be careful.
Oh fuck. If you move last seconds.
Jesus Christ.
This team is rotating for the house. As
Yeah.
you can see, they know something that we don't. And the house team is like over here now.
That'd be really nice.
They're gonna collapse there. They're gonna collapse.
Okay.
Bro, my game's so laggy.
Yeah, I'm literally rubber banding.
Tough.
I mean, yeah, been like that like the one night anyway.
Yeah, but not this bad. For me at least.
It's a fight happening right now. We're
Yeah.
gonna top 15 soon. Holy shit, this is our game, boys.
Yes, sir.
Is it back?
Alright, I thought someone was gonna rotate in here, but I guess not. That's them looking up at Vexed, right?
I'm gonna give you.
Yeah, they're looking at
Not,
Vexed.
it's bugging. You can't see them. Like, you can't shoot them.
Yo, have you a gen?
Wait in the zone to close it. Don't heal. Don't play. Don't heal. Just wait for
this
some.
team has full control of the building now.
So it's not north pad
This team
they're
here
at,
is
it's
locked, yeah.
launch
I
pad.
think that's a rat. That lost the fight there.
height.
Yeah, that team lost the fight in there. Right. Okay. I'm gonna sit here until we see the zone, yeah? Give me one syringe and lucky.
Alright, let's jump on board with the main
this game.
broadcast here. There's Game of Drones.
Starting to make
That's what
their
we were talking about
way in
earlier.
As well, got to be careful with the limited defensive capability around.
Trying
the
to see if they
edge
can
of
take down
this
Ascend in that
ring.
second spot.
You do want to be, if you can, nestled up right close to launch pad. Game of Drones only got a Dark Veil to get them there.
Surprisingly, finding your way out of that building is rough, but with that charged up rampage, they'll see if they can chug.
Oh my gosh, yo, that's not your teammate.
They're able to pull it out. Rondon with the first drop onto Maliwan.
This would be big for Game of Drones.
Throw out the thermite, make them burn.
Nice finish onto Maliwan, and like you said, we
Fucking
knew
Zephyr,
this
man.
duo was coming. Everyone was watching the exit from Antenna, but as it turns out,
There it is. That
Totem
gives
are
Game of
not
Drones the top spot.
beneficiaries. They go down, and it's simply not avoidable.
Or not top
for
spot,
them.
gives them number
Out
2
comes
spot,
that
sorry.
Wall, and Seer ult to follow this up. We've got an isolated
Vex is still in the game, though, so
3v1 with full information given to you by a Seer. That's just going to be another KP for Game of Drones.
Surprisingly, though, it's not them who picks it up.
Oh.
Instead, they're the ones that start to face knocks. 2R1C, who had moved through early.
2R1C?
They're back, like you said, out from the bamboo, thick from the trees, and the shots ring. Haraka trying to take angles on the side of the box, fence line down, creating even more space for 2R1C
That's
to
gonna be
play
big.
into and to finish wherever Game of Drones might have run off to.
I don't even know if it's their priority at this point. They have so much space and loot that they just got. You're not sitting in zone. That's not.
You're not.
It's zone 3. Zone 3 don't mess around, Zephyr.
Zone 3 don't mess around, and there's a reason we send Game of Drones home in 12th.
Dang, man. Well, Game of Drones
for them, but
at least got ahead of
huge move
Ascend.
from 2R1C.
They have to hope that 2R1C doesn't
Excellently
catch him,
timed,
which
given
more
that-
than likely they
remember,
do.
They couldn't
Unless
see
they go
any
out
of that.
next.
They're not running Seer.
The interesting thought will be if 2R1C may potentially
Wide swinging. It was a great call on
Foot's in a
timing.
fight here.
That's why I give a lot of credit to the IGL.
Foot should be able to finish this up.
Chaco,
There they are.
with a great start to the day. The exit, however, as
Hang on board real quick with Aurora. Oh, I can't do the delay on the sound. Oh my gosh, not like this. Yeah, we'll move away from that. Hey, can I get sound? Thank you.
Z lewej pikuje, z lewej, uwaga na daleko.
Chcesz to podjeżdżać, czy co?
So we know that
Kurwa, i tego, zniszcie tego.
Vex is still up at the top over here.
Czekaj, zaraz sprawdzę ile tam jest.
Najdę, uwaga.
Right? Vex is the one that's going to be able to look from the top down over here.
Yeah, we have so much space.
I mean, those guys there can grip us.
They're going to have to jump from this elevated angle is the tough part, and there's going to be a bunch of teams that'll see them.
Wait, fighting right under us! Right under us! Right
If
under
they're
us!
lucky,
Right below.
What I would do, I would drop on them while they're fighting
Guys,
below
I think we
them,
drop and we
honestly.
try to wipe this if they keep
There's a
fighting.
team here. There's so many teams around us. You're gonna get free so hard.
I'm so fucking smart.
Cracked one. Do I bang out this?
You can do it. But they have a gen, they have a gen.
How much heavy do you have?
90.
46.
Where's that? Look, ping! On my ping here, what the fuck
No.
is this?
Give me.
Yeah.
Look, I'm free kill.
Can I get element 6 here, please? Thank you.
Do it.
So Aurora's going to be eliminated in the 10th
Red
spot.
room. We just need to hold one team, no? We just need to hold this fucking team, yeah. Yeah, and this team as well.
And they'll get that value of being able to see exactly where everyone's at.
They don't red room.
Big crypto value.
Yeah. Bin is looking here. Bin is looking, Joe. Yeah, on the left, yeah. You mean red room, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, Vex dropped down, ends up going out, kind of like I was telling you guys would end up happening. Because once they have to drop down, they have so many people looking at them. I think their best bet would have been to drop down while that team that was all the way down was in a fight.
Yeah, I got cracks in the back. There's a team on the pins over here. Yeah, I'm looking. If they play above, they're gonna get shit on.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm popping syringes.
So here at this point, E6 knows that on the other leg here, at launch pad, there's a team still. Or at least last time that they got info, right?
You're getting beamed on me!
All
They're on the
right.
other side!
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
One of them is down though! Yeah, 2 guys on me, 2 guys solo here!
And I think they still have the other team. Nice. Nice. Expect them to come up there. Big. Nice.
I'm adding.
Oh, where are they getting shot from?
No, other side,
Oh, on the left side, bro. Oh, that's tough.
Blame me there, it's a full team there.
Damn, dude. That's unfortunate.
Same.
Foot esports, one of the teams that's left here. They're on the edge.
I'm getting fucked in the back.
Come to me. Safe on me.
They're gonna swing.
I think actually, as a duo, they might be in a good spot. The only problem is everyone's going to need to push into the water here in a minute. Actually, we're going to go sit on board with the main broadcast here for the end of this 2R1 scene.
Side also trying to cater towards
I think Vex did enough though that I don't think 2R1C can catch it unless they come in here and like absolutely ape shit like all these kills.
Might as well go for the full swing, a full wipe onto Passion, and we're down to a straight 3v3. The question is,
nah,
did
I don't think so.
give up too much space on the opposite side?
I think even if they get these 3 and then the extra points, I don't think they do. They can use the smoke to be able to break LOS.
Perfect too, giving the squad the opportunity to recover, taking out the drone as well.
They do kind of have to move, I think, before the team across from them, though, is the only downside.
Played on the other side, who don't have access to that drone for the next 40 seconds.
They've got a much more extended pull, though. Outplayed will have their pick of the litter the minute that this particular rock cover is no longer available for 2R1C. And when I say they have to beam before they assault forward, it is absolutely necessary. Watch, 2R1C is going to get some entry crack or entry damage, and you will see an assault. You will see the smokes. You will see the push forward because it is necessary.
The digi-threats are the difference here as well. Outplayed simply don't have them on everyone, but 2R1C knew this was part of their game plan from the beginning. Why are we getting in the Trident? Get out of the Trident! What is happening?
What are we doing? Oh, that's brilliant.
It is broken. No EMP.
The Trident gives them coverage in the middle of the circle. The Trident was so smart.
And they're the ones to face first knocks. Down to a 2v2 here. Sheck's looking lower and lower. Both of these teams barely flesh. 2R1C brought into a 2v1 as they lose a 1v1. It's up to 2R1C with their full
They did it
to pick up another win in our final match of the day.
A three-peat on the day for
Damn.
2R1C, having won half of our matches.
And I don't know if they're going to finish in first, though.
Of this roster, think again. Their game plan is incredible, and Rain Day,
what an ending,
I don't think
man.
there can be any doubters left.
I don't think there could be any doubters. I mean, I can't imagine the people up aren't off their feet watching at home.
2RC, R1 and C might have actually pulled that off. What were they at, 64 there in the end?
Of how that went down.
Before they got the placement points?
the story and the energy was moving with 2R1C. They were so close to overtaking first place. Could we have just seen another Dark Zero moment happen here in EMEA in day 2? Did they do enough to usurp Vex? It is gonna be close, but it may not be enough. We'll have to find out. It's gonna keep you waiting. And,
I don't think they get
enjoy
enough
your time until those results show up. But Dia, walk me through just
unless
that
they got
last
12
moment.
KP and Vex got none. It's not
up.
up.
They kind of took that fight a little awkwardly at first with the Trident, but they made it work.
They did. You know, I was very scared when they got on the Trident. I'm sure you heard it in my voice. I was like, don't do that. Please get on the Trident. After seeing it happen, I understood why it did.
Yep.
And, well, it actually swung that fight really well for them. Being able to position dead on center zone for 2R1C and make use of that Trident as cover is a risky move, but when have they not done that before?
Yeah.
Making their way out of antenna, playing behind this, bit of bamboo, making the perfect call to swing again. 2R1C were so comfortable taking risks this game.
Absolutely.
All right, chat.
I mean, what a performance from them.
Yeah, a fantastic one at that here, but
2R1C is going to fall 2 or 3 points shy
almost half of our lobby
of coming out on top, chat.
Out of here, and it was 2R1C who come actually from
bucket. Follow that link too. I don't care.
Wrap around
Actually, follow that link and give that Twitter post some love if you could.
On the edge of that ridge lighting even further, and just wait. They knew what chaos was in store, and they wanted no part of it, knowing they needed an absolutely
so Vex held down by 2 points.
Aurora disappeared a little bit today. Going to be disappointing for them for sure.
So Vex had a top
match. They'll have a lot to review.
25-point day.
Pretty similar position.
And then what? 6 is like
from Joke, Nubicide, Zidane. They'll have to go back to the drawing board just a little, but you can't play teams, especially when they're having their first go at this brand new season. Which
Ascend had a 4th and a 4th
with 44 points. 2R1C in 5th. Start climbing up. 50 points there. Gaming Gladiators gets in the way. And you
start a fight looking decent with 2 top 10s. No, sorry. Start a fight with an 11th. Yes.
Yeah, this looked really good for them, honestly, once they got back up as a duo. Not ideal, of course, but you're looking at it saying, well, it's Vexed. How can this go wrong?
So I think Vex should be ahead of EMEA after week 1.
Position, and it's that Game of Drones 2
getting assistance, obviously, from the fact that they
before the game
have 2 sessions.
The position that Vexed have is the natural conclusion of the most powerful spot in the lobby. You want to
Ascend
that squad,
will
they just have a lot of attention drawn towards them that 2R1C didn't, meaning that 2R1C got to take fights at their liberty, and Vex got to take fights as other people.
Do we have anybody else that will have passed them from the back-to-back?
Into the finisher, bouncing back up. I mean, incredible stuff there. And you can see 24 points at the very end of the game.
So I think that means Fire Beavers will still be 3rd, KCP 4th, Alliance 5th, I think.
That leaves them with 68 if my quick math is correct. We'll have to see if that's enough. ANC outplayed 14. Vex, they got 5. Holding on to dear life. It might be enough to get them first place. Foot Esports, good ending.
Let's see it.
4th place. They ended with, I think, 20 points in game 6 yesterday, so they tend to kind of ramp up on Storm Point. Passion as well, 12 points there. Bitfix Gaming getting to the top 5 with Element 6, a 6th place finish with 9 points. That's going to put them in tied for 4th overall. And on the back half, looking at this, Zephyr, we've talked about some of these teams. It was not Aurora's day. They ended up getting in that top half there, but V2, Game of Drones had a chance.
I'm gonna let y'all see the official results, and then we're gonna
opportunity in game 6.
Do that thing.
Such a shame there, and that's why we talk about keeping it paced throughout the rest of these games, because you never know when it's going to count. I'm really impressed by V2 looking at these stats, given the 9 kills that they pick up, but everyone else from down, Morningstars, Ascend, J-Lings, a bit of a struggle bus to finish off day 2.
That's okay. I mean, for some of these teams, it is day 1, and you got to give them that little wiggle room. Yep. And that's kind of a disadvantage in some ways to be playing after a team has already played. 10 teams have already played, and you have to understand it's a brand new meta. So I understand, I empathize with the way some of these teams are probably adjusting at this moment. But going back to the drawing board, it's a long season, a lot of time to readjust and correct. I know you've all been waiting for what happened. Let's reveal the results of today. 6 games played. Only 1 team can take first place. And
Vex
it's
it is.
Gaming who do enough. Those 5 points and those pair of wins get them the W on today.
Damn.
2R1C, despite winning 3 games, 2 points behind Vex, who
That's
certainly
what like
dominated
0
the,
game
gotta have some
will
exhales
do
of
to you,
relief
man.
for Vexed fans around the world.
Vex
there.
You really do.
only
I
had
got
1,
way
2RC
too close
had
for
2.
comfort there, and I mean, knowing how
That's
the
the
points are going to
that's
break
the
down,
importance of being able to put at
2R1C
least
cannot be
something on the
unhappy, but the
scoreboard
biggest
every game,
standout
right?
To me, is that name in
That's
third
insane.
place. From 19th to 3rd in less than 24 hours. Game of
All right,
Thrones
chat.
have really brought it back.
Appreciate everyone coming in, hanging out, man. We'll be back live again for the NA stream over here. I'll probably pop live about 15 minutes before or something like that, kind of like we did before this one. I'm going to go give myself a little bit of a break, get a break from the lights, get a break from the screens. You know, not be a troll in my cave as I've been all weekend long. But I do appreciate y'all coming through, hanging out with your boy. It really means a lot. Like I said, we'll be back live later. If y'all haven't already done so, hit a like on the video. It seems to help out with that algorithm. If we have anybody in here who hasn't already done so, and smack the subscribe button. If y'all enjoy the vibes, we're chasing down our first 200 over here on the channel, man. I really appreciate y'all. We'll be back here in about an hour and a half or so, all right? So we catch y'all over here for the next one, man. Don't forget, with everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love hard, all right, y'all? It's your boy Q, signing out.